All right. So, welcome to full moon in Pisces plus the lunar eclipse in Pisces as well. I'm so excited to have you guys as always. This is a really important class, okay? Like, I know sometimes I say that, but this time I really mean it. I really mean it. I really mean it for a lot of different reasons because we've been in the eclipse vibration, you know what I'm saying, for some months now. Okay. And what I mean is we have eclipse every year. But this year, I don't know if y'all year has been like my year, but this has been one of the most changing years ever in my life, right? And so, and I'm so grateful. Some things I wasn't necessarily expecting or even wanting on necessarily, but I believe in divine timing, and I definitely believe in, you know what I'm saying, everything being in alignment for me. So if things have been shifting, then I am saying thank you. Come on. I welcome it because I know that there are goals and things that I have. So as long as things are shifting according to the will, I have no complaints. All right. Now, again, that don't mean I don't go kicking and screaming. Okay. So we can go kicking and screaming. All right. So the energy we're going to be talking about today is some of the vibration of the things that started off our kicking and screaming for this year. Okay. So we're going to talk about, let me pull up, let me share my screen. All right. So for today, what we're going to do is go to recent. The agenda for today. So we're going to go over what I just said. The new moon in Pisces that we had March 10th started all of the conversations off that we're having now. Okay. So some of the themes and stuff that we're going to talk about today is going to be you going back into your past and remembering, recovering some forms of some themes that may have popped up for you in March. Okay. Around March, 10th, the first part of March. Now, if you're like, well, I don't remember what the theme is, it's okay. I'm going to show you how to find out the theme. When you go to your chart and we start talking about it, everything that's going to be in and around 20 degrees, that's going to be the theme. Okay. So we're going to find it out. Even if you think you don't remember, we're going to pull it up just by looking at your chart and like going into it. Okay. And then we're going to talk about the eclipse that happened right after that. So we had the new moon in Pisces on March 10th. And then right after we had the new moon in Pisces, then we had this whole just thing started just falling out. Okay. Which was on my birthday. I was just like, be nice to people. I don't want you to be mean to people. And then they be like, you know what? March 25th of 2024 was one of the worst times of my life. And it's my birthday. I don't want that. I don't want that energy. Okay. So, but it did come in with some real heavy things, heavy cycles around relationships and friendships and movement and those things. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too, and how that may have affected your energy in your chart, because this is also some of the ending to it. So like when we have these eclipses and we have these full moon cycles, they're not just on the day that they happen. You know what I'm saying? You know how we'd be like, oh, the moon changes every 2.5 days. So that means the energy of that can be, you know what I'm saying, 6 to 7 days long, depending on if it's in the beginning or the end. So we have cycles that we are dealing with. So when we're dealing with these eclipse cycles, they are 6 months long and sometimes longer. All right. So that's why we're talking about the new moon and the lunar eclipse that happened in March, because they are still in the themes of what we are dealing with now. Okay. And then to combine that, y'all know that Saturn is in retrograde in Pisces too. Okay. So that's also combining itself to this conversation. So we're going to talk about Saturn and talk about Pisces energy of Saturn and the retrograde of that vibration. Now that started off on June 29th. Okay. Now Pisces entered into Saturn went into Pisces on March 7th, which was around that same time we had that new moon eclipse. So even though it didn't go retrograde until June, it has been a part of this conversation since the beginning of March as well. Okay. So we're going to talk about that. And then, of course, talk about where we are today, what we got going on now, the full moon in Pisces, at 25 degrees, how that is in your chart, and some other aspect is also going on that's lending itself to the conversation. And the whole biggest part of all of this, and why this class is one of the most important that you're going to have this year, is because all of this energy is then also setting us up for the nodes that are going to change in January. Okay, in January, we're going to go from us being in the nodes of Aries and Libra, and we're going to shift into the nodes of Pisces and Virgo. So everything we're talking about now, 2 years, okay? 2 years of you really working through it. And if you just really looking at what's sticking out, which is Saturday sticking out, you should be knowing that for the next 2 years, this is going to be some hardcore structure, discipline, action, time management, all the stuff that we have been talking about pretty much for the entire year. This stuff is now going to be weed through. Okay, we're going to really now look through the details of it and like really go through it. So a lot of this stuff we're going to talk about has a lot to do with that biggest theme, which is what are you doing when it comes down to your discipline and the structure of your energy and your vibration. Okay, and then of course we're gonna get to my favorite part of the class, which is y'all aspects. Where's your Pisces placements? I want to talk about those more than anything. We'll get a chance to talk about some other stuff in our next class, but I really want to hammer down just on y'all Pisces placements because so much stuff is really happening in and around Pisces. Like I said, from now until you got from now, then you got another hit, boom, January, then you got another hit, March. So those things, it's going to continue to, dig into those parts of us. And because Pisces is also where we tend to escape, where we tend to run for our vices, you know what I'm saying? Like our drugs, our alcohol, our people pleasing, our doing, too much for people than we do for ourselves. All this stuff is in our Pisces placements. Okay. So this is going to, you're gonna feel this as it relates to like detaching yourself. Okay, we're gonna go through a heavy detachment process. All right, so that's what we're gonna get into. So starting off with the new moon in Pisces, which was on March 10th. Let's look at the chart for that. Okay, so all right, is this it? Yes. All right, so in your chart, what you're going to be looking at, if you don't remember what the themes were, okay, the new moon that we had on March 10th was 20 degrees, okay? So anything that you have in and around 20 degrees, okay? So that means it don't matter if it's Pisces or not. If it could be, Sun Virgo at 20 degrees. This was also a part of the conversation, okay? No matter what it is, if it's around 20 degrees, it got a hit from this new moon in Pisces, okay? Now, we had this new moon in Pisces energy. Again, it was bringing us into the changes that were getting ready to happen, which was the node vibration of us getting ready to have that lunar eclipse. So it was very much giving us some real deep conversations in and around what we needed to do. 20 degrees of anything is like it's the kickoff to the last stage. Okay, the last stage of a vibration. All signs have 30 degrees in which they separate. Okay, so that means it can only go 30 before it changes sign. So if it's at 20 degrees, it's at the last 10 that it's working on. So this is what I like to call the high school stage, okay? You know what I'm saying? Or the adult stage. However you want to look at it, it's fine. But when you're looking at it, this is the part where incorporating this energy, you're a little bit more advanced in it, or you're starting to get advanced in it because it's 20 degrees. So you're just coming out of the middle stage into the last stage of it. So 20 degrees is almost like 9th grade, okay? So the 9th grade of this Pisces energy came and had a conversation with you in March about some vibrations in and around things that had to do with your taking care of yourself, your self-care on a deeper level, how you were doing more for others than you were doing for yourself, okay? Your vices, you know what I'm saying? The things that you was using to not do the things that you said you were supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? So if that was whatever it was, all these themes came up at the beginning of March, okay? So when you start to go in your chart, pull up themes that you had that are in or around 20 degrees, and then look at your Pisces placement. Now, the Pisces placement, we're going to talk about them anyway. So now you should be at least jotting them down because this is the current thing that we're talking about now and then that is combining itself together in the conversation. Okay. Now, if we look at some of the other stuff that was going along with this chart too, All right. So we also had during that time period, okay, sun and moon was in Pisces. Mercury at the time period was in Aries, okay? Venus is in Aquarius. Mars was in Aquarius. Jupiter was in Taurus, okay? Saturn was in Pisces. Uranus was in Taurus. Neptune was in Pisces and Pluto was in Aquarius. Okay, so we just look at these themes of what was going on. So we know that there was a lot of change energy that was dealing with Aquarius energy because we know that Pluto moved into Aquarius in January. So the themes of rebel or, wanting to do things differently and not doing things the same, as well as also is dealing with this community foundation perspective. So a lot of us in dealing with just like the community things that matter was a part of the conversation. Neptune being Pisces, so our dream part is still online. It's combining itself with those things, as well as when we think about this Mercury in Aries conversation was, okay, we got a lot of things to talk about. The things that we have to talk about is the stuff that we are resisting to letting go, okay? Now, I'm saying that because the theme of what we are talking about for today's lesson is the power of letting go, all right? That's what this is about. The reason why we're stuck in rigid, things that are not working for us is because you do not want to let go. And I understand that. We understand that. The universe understands this because where you have Pisces energy is where you don't want to let go. Why? Because it's the end. It's the last part of the zodiac before we change over and change signs. So the energy that I want you guys to be processing as we are talking, especially if you've been dealing with any type of hardcore relationship issues, no matter whether they are platonic or love mates or whatever, over the last couple of months, the power of letting go. And whether that is an idea, whether that's the relationship as a whole, whether that is details or how I want things to be, something about what it is that came up for you in March was about letting go. And something right now is saying, you don't even have no more time left, okay? This is out. It's done. We've been told you to deal with it here. We told you in March to look at it and deal with it. But out of your own discomfort of not wanting to relieve it, right? Let it go. I'm comfortable. It's mine. I'm attached to it. Now you're dealing with the back end of why you got to let it go or why it let you go, okay? Whatever it is, it's still the same vibration, okay? Now, any questions about that? As a matter of fact, in the text, once y'all put anything that the things that y'all have in and around 20 degrees in the chat.
When you say around 20 degrees, what is that, like 16 degrees, 17 degrees?
So that's like plus or minus 2 on both ends.
Plus or minus 2. Okay.
So like 20, 21, 22, 18, 19, 20. Okay.
Okay.
Plus or minus 2 in and around.
My Chiron is at 20 degrees.
And Chiron has been a big player this year. You know what I'm saying? Especially because it's been in Aries. So, you got the wounded healer in Aries. That right there is, and it's been when I say it's been acting up because of the nose of fate, right? The nose of fates are in Aries and Libra. So of course it's having this constant, you know what I'm saying? Go here, show up, you know what I'm saying? But you got to heal in order to show up. So Chiron has been real deep into our perspective. I just saw a chat or something pop up. All right. Nothing for you, Crystal. Okay. Jasmine says she got Libra 22. Okay. And then North Node Cancer 22. Okay. 22s. These numbers. Okay. Closest is Mars at Scorpio at 7. Okay. I would look at that, Crystal, just because is it 17? What is 17 point what? Is it close to 18? Yeah, that's close to 18. I would look at that just to kind of have some parts of the conversation. Okay, Brittany said Venus and Capricorn at 20. Okay, so this was the theme. Okay, so if you are confused on what the universe has been trying to talk to you about now and then, this is the theme. Okay, the theme is Brittany, Venus, okay, in Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn is the discipline. It is the legacy. It is the structure. It is the foundation. It's all the energy in dealing with making sure things survive. And Venus is the love of those things, right? So it's like combining those things together. What was going on for you as it relates to the legacy? What was going on as it relates to your work perspective? You know what I'm saying? Think about some of the things that was coming up for you in and around your Capricorn energy and in and around your Venus perspectives. Okay. Yes, Crystal, look at the Mars and Scorpio movement, right? Scorpio is either fear or power. So if it's fear or power, then what things were showing up surrounding fear and power around March as it relates to movement, right? There was some things you needed to move on and couldn't move on because of fear or power? What was showing up? You know what I'm saying? The not wanting to ruffle no feathers, but also being ruffled on the inside, the energy of those things, okay? Jasmine, Saturn and Libra at 22, the balance of your discipline, time management from the Saturn perspective, right? Libra is justice, balance, relationships, okay? So the balance of that. What's the balance of that means? The discipline comes in to help you to ensure the balance of it, especially with it being 22. 22 looks like 2 and 2. That's definitely direct hidden balance, right? Then North Node in Cancer, how you're showing up for yourself and for the world when it comes down to nurturing of yourself, right? And finding balance in that. Why did I say balance? Because that 22 is showing up and I'm not going to ignore it, okay? It's showing up too hard for it to be ignored. So think about some of that stuff that was showing up as it relates to your discipline and relationships and discipline as it relates to self-care. What was missing or what was the themes during that time period, okay? Yeah, 5 years, okay. All you gotta do is look at, let me pull up mine. Do you have your cafe astrology screenshot, Brandy? Go to that one. It's easier to find it on that one.
Okay. No, I just have the timeline one.
Time passages.
The timeline one that we get for our homework.
Okay, it's on that. So on your timeline, if you go and look at, it'll have the sign, and it'll have the sign of the planet, the sign, and then right beside it will have numbers.
Okay.
Those are what you're looking for. You're looking for those numbers that start off with 20 or 18 or 19.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
put them in there.
I have my midheaven in Taurus at 18 degrees.
So we know there's career, personal development, advancement, achievements, all those things, right? So that's was the conversation then and the conversation now. How are we going to advance? How are we going to get into more of our social perspectives of what it is that we know we need to do? You know what I'm saying? What do we want to be known for when we leave this planet and this earth? What do you want to be remembered for? What do you want, right? Of course, we want multiple things, but what part of those things are showing up right now, right? What is asking for your time and your energy right now? Carissa, my love, you is stacked down, baby, with the 20s, okay?
I think I want to cry, right? I looked at it, I was like, no.
Carissa, my God. Cancer at 20 degrees, Mars at Cancer at 22 degrees, Saturn and Scorpio at 21 degrees, Aquarius at 22 degrees, 8th house Leo at 22 degrees. Yes. Okay. It just, okay. So it's a lot going on because there's some big changes happening. Some big changes happening. So the themes that you had in March, right? When you go back and think into your mind about what was going on in March, right? The energy, a lot of it had to do with all of this that's showing up now. This is also the reflector of what's showing up now. So if you could go back and just put in your mind, like just think about, go back through the weeks and see what was showing up and see what was frustrating, see what's making you mad or see what was pissing you off or causing problems. Because whatever that energy is now, we need to work on it right now. This is it. This is the deadline. You know, you go to work and be like, well, when is the deadline to turn this in? Today. Today is the deadline. What I mean today, meaning this energy moon, okay? The energy of this. And not necessarily doing somewhere it's got to be a lot of physical. A lot of this is emotional work. A lot of this is intuitive work, like sitting with yourself and like allowing those feelings and stuff that we avoid, you know what I'm saying? Because we watching TV or on social media or eating or whatever we tend to do to avoid it. sit with yourself without nothing, right? And just allow your feelings and your emotions to come online, because you're going through some major things and will continue to go through some things, and not in a sense where, oh, like, oh, spooky, scary. No, going through some things with your emotions, okay? Like you're really learning what self-care means for you this year. If you ain't never learned before, oh, you're learning what self-care means now. You have to, okay? That is a lie. I'm a big hug, okay? All right. Who else? I know that's probably way more folks in class. Where's all these people that's missing in class? All right. Okay, cool. So put a pin in that. All right. Because we're going to bring that back up again when I ask y'all another question about some of your other placements. Okay. So just remember all of these, because this right here that you just wrote is a combination with the rest of the stuff that we're going to talk about as well. Okay. All right. Now you see the chart for March 10th. Now let's look at my birthday chart. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, March 25th. Now this was at 5 degrees. Okay. So anything that you have in and around 5 degrees plus or minus 2. Okay. 5 degrees. And the energy that you have in Libra, okay, was also a part of the conversation. Okay, so you go and look at your chart. Now we're looking for things. And let me pull up. Hold on. Give me a second, Brandy. Gmail. Nope. You gotta give me just 1 minute. See if I can find your chart pretty quick, Brandy. I don't know if I can. Can you send me a screenshot of what you're looking at so I can look at it, find it really quickly? I think it's probably on your other.
Okay, how you want me to send it?
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna try this first. Okay. So, okay. So real quick. So this right here, this is what you said you're looking at, right?
Yeah,
So 20 degrees, you see this says 20. So you got
Yeah.
moon squares at 20. You got sun, Sagittarius at 22. So anything that's in plus or minus 2, this is what you're looking at. You're looking for these numbers here. So when I say anything for the new moon in Pisces that was at 20 degrees, you're looking for the things that are in and around 20 degrees. So these first 2 are in and around 20 degrees. And then let's see, do you have any houses that are in and around? No, I mean, or you can look at the 5th house too, that you got Leo. That's at 19 degrees. So you can look at that too. You know what I'm saying? But that's how you're gonna look at it. Okay, so now we're moving into the things that are in and around 5 degrees. Okay. What did I do with my chart? No, that's the March 10th. Boom. Okay. Anything that's in 5 degrees. Okay. So when that eclipse hit on my birthday, okay, the vibration in the conversations changed. They changed abruptly. So abruptly to where we was like, what is going on? Why? Because we also had the retrograde that came in right after that. Okay. April 1st hit the retrograde. Okay. The first retrograde of the year. So the energy of that eclipse hit, boom. And right after that, we immediately went into retrograde. So the energy of what kicked off there was also part of like, this is how we're going to, this is why we need to make this change. And this is how we're going to make that change. So if we look at the chart for this one, all right, we'll see the Mercury was still in Aries, okay, and still at 23 degrees. So then when the sun and Aries came in and combined, and then Venus started making some shifts, we see that the Aries Pisces conversations start to get real heavy surrounding, okay, this has been our block. This is what has been stopping us. And this is how we're going to initiate ourselves. Okay. So a lot of the discomforts and the problems and the things that came up was because that's where you have been being stuck the longest. Your people pleasing the longest showed up in March or April. Your issues surrounding your lack of self-care and lack of balance and lack of time, all those things came up in April, in March or April. You can't tell me because it came up for everybody. It came up for the world. The entire governmental system it came up for. So if it came up for everybody, I know it came up for you, surrounding the energy of how you're going to let go. Right? Not that you was ready to let go, but these are the things you need to let go. So then the start of the heavy conversation, and retrograde came in on the 1st, then you started to see the conversation of it, right? How backwards it was. You were supposed to sit and review your own conversation, but a lot of things came up. It was so many fights that first week of April. So many people was fighting during that first week of retrograde. It was crazy. Why? Because everything started to explode. Everything started to go haywire, okay? Started to go haywire because, again, your time is up. Your time is up as it relates to you not taking care of the things you need to take care of for yourself. This does not mean that you are not, shouldn't have relationships and shouldn't do things for people and shouldn't be there for, it doesn't mean that. It means that when it comes down to the balance and the meter where you're supposed to make sure you're giving from a full cup, you're not doing it. So how do we ensure that? I keep telling y'all that if Pluto don't do nothing else in its existence, what it's going to do is it's going to get you to your destiny. And the ways in which it's going to get you to your destiny is because it's going to use whatever it has to use, whether it's fear or power, okay? Whether it is, taking your job, taking your car, taking your cell phone, whatever your vices are, it is going to remove them. So the reason why it's important for you to hammer in on the conversations from March, from that Pisces kickoff in Aries, because if not, a lot of this changing stuff that we got going on with this Pluto dynamic, we just shifted back into the dynamic of being in Capricorn. It's going to rip everything out. So that's why I'm saying your time is up. So the time up meaning that Pluto is going to remove anything that has been an issue. So again, if food has been an issue, then you're gonna, all of a sudden you're dealing with food problems, okay? If your phone is an issue, all of a sudden your phone is a problem. Whatever the issues have been, they're going to be highlighted. They was highlighted then, they're definitely going to be highlighted now, okay? So now you're going to go in and look at your chart and pull up all the things that you have in and around 5 degrees plus or minus 2, okay? Did y'all already put those in the chat? I saw the chat going. All right, yep. Okay, Uranus and Sag at 4. Okay, so breaking free, expansions. Sag is the, the teacher and the student, the world traveler, the educator. Okay, Sag is I want to expand the territory. Uranus is, I want to break free from whatever is holding me back. I need to rebel from this. Okay, what about the future? That's that energy, right? So something about this vibration that happened on the eclipse was like, are you stuck? Are you expanding? Are you really expanding? Are you really going a step further? Are you looking at spaces of education? Are you looking at spaces of where you can, if you've been doing a lot of educating or taking a lot of classes and stuff like that, are you teaching? Are you giving back the information that you're taking in? What's going on? And when it comes down to your Sag energy, are you taking the trips that you need to take? Are you practicing your daily practices? Or do you have a good balance of making sure that you are standing your body? You know what I'm saying? Like doing your dance and making sure that you are also praying and meditating. Do you have a balance of those things? Sun in Sag at 5 degrees, okay? Uranus in Aquarius at 5 degrees and Pluto in Sag at 5 degrees. So what I just told Jasmine, Brittany, about Pluto in Sag at 5 degrees, similar to yours, the only difference is with the Uranus in Sag is breaking free out the box. Pluto is transforming, okay? So sounds kind of similar. One has an agenda of rebel, the other has an agenda of power. Okay, so the energy of that Pluto and Sag at 5 degrees is about a power conversation. Are you scared? Are you scared to expound? Are you expand to go farther, go bigger, right? Or are you processing the fact that, okay, I got some wounds and I'm staying stuck because I'm still processing the wounds? Sometimes when we get into the Pluto perspectives, we get stuck too, right? It's our dark side, our dark energy. So are you willing to, go transform in order for you to, go to another level? Sag wants to expand. They want to go somewhere else. It wants to go out and look, okay? Sun is Sag at 5 degrees. Same conversation. So all this sad stuff at 5 is like, listen, we need to break free. We need to expand. Okay. So education, you maybe having thoughts of school, or maybe, being in school or tired of being in school. And like, I need to give back in some type of way. Some part of the expansion conversation came up for this full moon eclipse. Okay. Aquarius, same thing. Aquarius energy and the Uranus energy is on the same vibration of the future. Okay. So the conversations about you expanding, the conversations about you taking the travel, getting the education, doing those things had everything to do about your future. So right now, the conversation is, are you processing your future? Are you letting go to make sure that you can have the best future? Okay. All right, Crystal, Jupiter in Cap, 5 degrees. Lilith in Pisces, 7 degrees. Okay, first house, wait, 7? Is that 7 degrees? What you trying to say? Okay, 6, 7. Okay, now my brain just went crazy. Okay, hold on. Okay, Jupiter in Cap at 5. All right, Lilith in Pisces at 7. Okay, and then first house is at 7 degrees. 6th and 7th house is at 7 degrees, and 12th house is at 7 degrees. Okay, I got it. Boom, brain. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Work with me now. Okay, so the Jupiter energy again, Jupiter, Sagittarius, same conversation. Okay, why? Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So no matter if we're talking about Jupiter or we're talking about Sagittarius, it's the same conversation about travel, long distance travel, education, teaching, spiritual practice, balance of those things, mindset, psychological energy. Okay. So the energy of that expander, Jupiter wanting to expand, has everything to do with Capricorn, which is the legacy. So now this is what you see legacy to be, how you see the finances for the legacy to be. So the expansion conversation about you, your legacy, what you're going to do about it. Lilith is breaking free, getting into your wild woman. Pisces is watch your vices. Are you using your vices to escape? First house is, why are you not showing up now to do these things? 6 and 7 house. 6 is house of health, work. Your body is a part of the conversation. 7th is you avoiding relationships. Relationship is a part of the conversation. And 12th house is you stuck. So all of that came up for the eclipse. The eclipse went bright and went out, and this was the themes of the conversation. Okay. Moon Libra in 8th, Pluto Libra in 8th. Okay. So Moon emotions, Libra balance, Pluto change, transform, Libra relationship balance at 8. So all the same thing. Your emotions are also tied into the change that you was feeling during that eclipse. Okay, so whatever the emotions was, if they was big, which they should have been big, and especially because it was in Libra, okay, because the eclipse was in Libra, okay, so this was all bouncing up and down and around you, okay, saying change now, get balance, okay. Look at the balance between how you see yourself, the I am, versus how you see your relationship, the relationship dynamics, and not just partnership as it means romantic, all of them. Okay, that was the conversation then. For Carissa, Venus in Gemini at 7 degrees, and Lilith was in Taurus at 4 degrees. Okay, so Venus energy, foundation, values, money, relationships, Gemini, 2 people, 2 things, 2 sides, the hands, the balance of it as well, but also the intellectual conversation of it, right? So when it comes down to how you see relationships, values, foundations, money, and those things, you got 2 ways going on. So in the vibration, when that eclipse showed up, it was showing you the 2 ways in which you see it. And in order for you to find some form of resolution for yourself this year and getting grounding to your balance is to find out what part of it needs you now. Gemini can never just do one. No matter what Gemini says, it's never going to do one. So trying to hone in on just doing one ain't going to work. It's what is got your attention for right now. Gemini's attention. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, what's that? I want to see. I want to see. It's that. So it's being honest within yourself about what it is that you need when it comes down to your values and saying, okay, well, right now I need this, but I may need something else. And when that changes, I'll let you know, right? Allowing yourself to be flexible enough, right? When it comes down to those things and not being so rigid, because if you be so rigid and it doesn't show up that way, then you find yourself feeling like you scatterbrained all over the place. And it's not that you are scatterbrained all over the place. It's that you have a lot to experience and you want to experience it, and you are, but you still have to have some discipline with that, okay? Lilith and Taurus comes along and say, break free, get a little wild with it, okay? Learn some things about yourself, learn some things about the nature part of you, you know what I'm saying? Get into your own pleasure, get into what you see your values to be, get into what you see your foundation is to be with yourself, right? If it's just you in this world and nothing and nobody else, what does that look like for you? How does that show up for you? Because however that energy is, you need to be solid in that. So regardless of whatever comes around, it ain't shifting that when it comes down to that vibration. Like if it's just me and me out in the world, how do I take care of me? What's the foundations of that? Brandy. Okay, Sun Sag 22, Moon Aqua 20. Yep. Okay, so Saturn cap at 3 degrees and ninth house in cap at 4 degrees. Capricorn is the legacy. Capricorn is the structure. Capricorn is the masculine energy, or what we say father time vibration, but it can also just be what masculine energy was given to us. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily have to be that the masculine energy came from dad. It could have came from mama, okay? But it is us still processing that, okay? Saturn in Capricorn, discipline of the Capricorn energy. And then those of you that also have Saturn in Capricorn and have children, watch how you spoil your children, okay? When I mean watch how you spoil your children, are you supposed to spoil your kids? Yes. But you need to spoil your kids with also giving them foundations that they need to be able to spoil themselves, okay? Because if you don't, you set yourself up, okay? Saturn and Capricorn parents, you setting yourself up. Because these kids are going to always look to you to make sure that they have everything. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you want to teach them how to fish too. You want to feed your kids while teaching them how to fish. If you're going to just feed them constantly, and then one of the moment they go through any type of trouble or anything, you're going to be the bank. Ask my mama. Okay, she got a testimony when she was in class right now to be the testimony for this, because I've been telling her whole life, you need to stop this. Okay, yo, you're doing it. You did it with your kids. You're gonna do it with your grandkids. It's turning into that thing. So be mindful when it comes down to whatever that cap energy, especially Saturn and Cap for sure. Make sure that you are giving your children discipline along with the rewards that you give them, because the legacy is real heavy in that vibration. Okay. Ninth house cap means Saturn is in that ninth house vibration, okay, is what that means. So that fact that that's there, when it comes down to, again, how you expound on the energy of your legacy, you need to make sure that you are taking these kids, y'all are traveling, doing things together, and you're teaching them foundations, okay? The energy that came up for April was about what can I do more when it comes down to my legacy? What am I doing now when it comes down to teaching them about finances and money and all those things, structure, discipline, and all of that, okay? That conversation still up now, still here, okay? What you talking about? Yep, Crystal. That must have been about, was that about spoiling your children? Was that about? All right. Moving right along. The next placement. Okay, so now, new moon in Pisces, we talked about that in your chart, all the 20 degrees placements. You're going to look at those and review those from March 10th, okay? Then you're going to look at the lunar eclipse transit that showed up March 25th, 5 degrees placements, right? So this is now combining itself. And then we can't forget that, again, Saturn went into Pisces March 7th, okay? But it went retrograde June 29th, okay, is when it went retrograde. Now, when it went retrograde in Pisces, if y'all didn't go back and watch, or if y'all did not come to the Saturn retrograde class, Pisces class, you got to go watch it. It was such a good class, okay? It's on YouTube. Please, all you got to do is go on there. As a matter of fact, I may send it to y'all with this one. It was a really good class. But when we start to talk about the disciplinary actions of this year, right? everything that we have been dealing with when it comes down to dealing with Saturn has been really working us for a while, okay? Now, Pisces, whenever we start to have a conversation there, our dreams, because Pisces ruled by Neptune, so our dreams are very much a part of this conversation, but our escapism is the biggest part of it. It's the biggest energy. So when it went retrograde in June, as a matter of fact, it's going to be there from what? From June, yes, until November 15th. So all the things that we just finished talking about also combined itself when we had that retrograde on the 29th. So meaning we started talking about the conversations on March 10th, when the Pisces spark became a part of the conversation, those things start showing up. When that retrograde stuff started showing up on April 1st, when that also, if you want to throw a little extra in there too, throw in that solar eclipse that happened, the solar eclipse that happened too on, I think it was April 6th, throw that in there too for just a little extra sprinkles if you want to. But the heaviest themes, when that Saturn retrograde came in Pisces, it was like, this is the reason why you did all those things. Everything that you have been doing up until this point has been because you have been avoiding yourself. Your biggest escapism is doing other things for other people and calling it help or support or love, all those things. Meanwhile, you over there helping somebody else clean their house and your house nasty. You know what I'm saying? You over there helping somebody else fix their car and your car broke down. This is what I mean. Is it nice? Yes, it is nice. That is so sweet of you. But if you haven't done these things for yourself, that's slick blasphemous, okay? It's not truth, is what I mean. These things have to lead off from you. So the retrograde in Pisces came in for us to start to have the conversation about cutting the ties. Okay. Now, again, today is about what? The power of letting go. But cutting of the ties started then. And they had to start by you looking at your roots, your ground floor. Ground floor, because it happened coming into Cancer season. Am I correct? Ain't that's when the 29th is? June 29th is Cancer season, correct? So we got to look at the themes of when things are coming in, because they're also adding themselves to the conversation too. Coming into the Cancer season meant these programs came from your family. They came from your bloodline. So now it's not just to look at your chart and say, oh, these things came up for me. Oh, this was what I was dealing with. It ain't just you been dealing with it. Your bloodline has been dealing with this. Okay, the people in your family are dealing with some of the similar relationship issues that you got. They're dealing with some of the same similar food problems that you got. They're dealing with some of the same addiction issues that list it out. Whatever it is, it's not unique to you. It is a generational thing. It is a family thing that y'all all contracted to come here together to do. Why are we saying a family thing contractual? Because Pisces is the end. So you are responsible for some part of your bloodline of ending some old karmic cycles. That's what the Saturn retrograde is doing. It's helping you to end the karmic cycles. But if you're going to be addicted, you're going to be addicted to the things and the people that are associated with these karmic cycles. How are you going to break them? So some of the things that have been showing up, and they have been mean sometimes, these relationship breakups and, you know what I'm saying, these jobs firings and these things have not been nice. They have been coming with some slander and all kinds of things, right? But that's what Pluto would do sometimes. When you are resisting, Pluto been telling you for years to change, months to change. Hey, you need to change that because the bloodline has been resistant and you can do it. We want to see you do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Give me another week. Give me a month. Give me 2 months. I'm going to do it next month. I promise. I'm going to start my food regimen next week. Okay. Next thing you know, boom. And it's an issue. Now you can't eat because you're sick. Okay. Now you snotty nose, can't hold nothing in your body. Pluto does this, okay? It does this to get you on with what it is that you need to get on with. So part of the energy that you've been dealing with in these hard cycles, these hard breakups or these hard body things, going to the hospital, dealing with certain things is because of our resistance, not just in your lifetime, generationally, we've been dealing with it, okay? So the reason why you're dealing with the hardest part of it is because you can. Because the universe knows that when you deal with it, this is what's going to help you get on with it, okay? So this Saturn retrograde Pisces energy is adding sprinkles to everything dealing with Pisces from now all the way until next year. Now, even though it's going to be in retrograde until November 15th, it is not leaving Pisces until May 24th, 2025. Okay, that's how long Saturn is going to be in Pisces. But check this out. Even though it's going to be leaving, we still got the north node, the nodes of fate that are going to change. The nodes of fate are going to change again. They're going to change at the beginning of the year. So when they change at the beginning of the year, then that's going to be the vibration then we're going to have to deal with. From January 11, 2025 is when those nodes are going to change. So what I'm saying to you is get used to Pisces for a minute. Okay, get used to Pisces in your chart, get used to Pisces energy around you, get used to dealing with your Pisces placement, get used to facing your vices, the things that you've been, get used to it, whatever going on Pisces wise in your life, in your vibration, get used to it because it's going to be there for a minute. It's not going to ease its way out. Okay. All right, now let's get into looking at the chart for. Wait, hold on a minute. Oh, no, I want to say this too. Another thing to also add to it. The last time Saturn was in Pisces was from May 1993 until April 1996. Now, most of us, we was here during that time period. Now, I don't know if you can go back that far and think about where you was in 1996 and 1993. But guess what? This is also, if you want to go back that far, the cycle goes back to that too, okay? So can you remember where you was in 1996? Were you in high school? Were you in elementary school? Did were you dealing with some type of family breakup? Was your mom and daddy separating? You know what I'm saying? Something was deep. Why? Because this is our cycle. We are the generational children that are here that literally shift the age from Pisces into Aquarius. Okay, so because you are part of that shift from Pisces into Aquarius, we are those children. We are the cycle breakers of our generation. Okay, not to say they're not going to be some after us, but you are definitely one of them. So if you go back and think about what was going on for you in 96. 96, I was in the 11th grade. I was getting ready to graduate from high school. Okay, and I definitely know I was going through I was going through a lot of stuff in 11th grade. Okay. And when I mean going through a lot of stuff, meaning like going through stuff with my identity, I was going through stuff with some of my teachers. You know what I'm saying? I was captain of the cheerleader squad, and I was having to, you know what I'm saying, deal with some people. I had some stuff going on, okay? But I know that my identity and what was going on then and how I saw myself and speaking up for myself and doing too much just because I wanted to prove that I was a team player on certain things. And even though I was doing things to prove that I was a team player, it still didn't come out as I was a team player, okay? Those are some of the things then. So if I move forward to now and think about, are themes of team player coming up now? Absolutely. Because it's time to rebuild a new team. We should all be looking at rebuilding a new team, a new circle, a new foundation around you, okay? Not to say that some people who are from your old circle, your old foundation can't come, but I guarantee you, if you got 10 people on the old foundation, the old circle, I guarantee you only 3 or 4 of them can come. The rest of them they're not a part of the alignment no more. And that's part of the fight. Part of the energy that you're feeling is that you're trying to drag people along with you to this next level and they can't go. And they've been telling you that, but you've been trying to fight and argue with them about how they can and why they can. This is the part you can play. They're like, no, I don't want to play that part. Or they say, okay, I can play that part, and they're not playing it. So that's the evidence. The evidence is these energies cannot go with you. And I mean energies, I mean in several different things. This job can't go with you. Okay. Where you currently live can't go with you. It's a lot of shifting that's reminding you of things that needs to change, the power of letting go into this next change, okay? So go back and think about where you was in 1993, May 1993, or just 1993, period. And 1996, okay? Some of that also can add to it as well.
Can I ask a question?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm trying to, I remember, I believe it was in the spring of 96. I was in the 6th grade, and that's when my parents decided to separate. So are you saying like I'm gonna have to revisit or heal some stuff in regards to family during this part of my life.
Yes, I'm saying that, and let me add something to that. I'm saying that too. That theme, if you remember that, that's what came up. So especially while we're talking, y'all, whatever themes popped up in your head just now from 93 and 96, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because it wouldn't pop up right now otherwise. So the fact that, Carissa, that part came up, something surrounding that scenario, that experience, right, is still in there. It's still causing some issues as it relates to some of the things that may be hindering you now as it relates to how you are processing relationships now. So let's just say, for an example, let's just say that happened, and in that moment when it happened, you had a fear of abandonment, right? Like you was like, well, I'm never, because sometimes we'll see stuff, we be like, I'm never getting married because I don't never want mine. You said that as a child, right? But these things are really implanted. And then when you get older, you got a relationship and it's working and the person really want to be with you, but then all you do is find a way to sabotage it. Pisces is a sabotager. Okay. It sabotages for several different reasons, right? One of the reasons why it sabotages is because it does not know how sometimes to take care of itself. Okay. The other reason is because this is the habit that I've learned. So if you've learned the habit of not trusting whether somebody gonna be there, and you develop some type of wound surrounding the fact that they may not be there, then it's not a coincidence why. And then when it comes down to relationships, sometimes you may jump ship where you may not be there. The issue that you're having a problem with, we start to internalize and become that, because what we're doing is we're trying to prevent us from feeling that energy again. So because we don't want to feel it again, sometimes we'll create that situation so we're not the ones having to feel it. It's that classic scenario of I think somebody's gonna break up with me, so I'm gonna break up with them first. You know what I'm saying? So now the narrative is I broke up with you versus being broke up with. It's these things. It's the same patterns when it comes down to emotional things that we deal with. Sometimes it's so hard for us to deal with abandonment, so we start to be the person who's abandoning everything. That what you think ghosting is? Ghosting is abandonment. We ghost because we have a fear of abandonment. And we think it's like, oh, I'm reserving my peace. No, it's not. You are hurt. You're still carrying that same time when it happened to you when you was a little child. You haven't healed that. So now all you do is go around and constantly, the moment you feel like the relationship or the communication becomes a problem, you ghost because you're afraid that somebody is going to leave you, because they're going to see some, and I'm not talking about you directly, Carissa. I'm just saying in the vibration. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we have a fear that that's going to happen to us, we start to do it first. So when you go back to think about that theme and that energy, especially because that popped up for you, something surrounding your parents and that energy of what they were dealing with in separation may have caused you to think something when it comes down to how you are now currently relating to your partner. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't have a partner, the block that could be between you and why you're not attracting a partner is because that thing is still sticking out. It's still there, but you thought you dealt with it. I'm grown. I mean, that was them. No, that's still a scar, because sometimes as kids, when we see our parents dealing with stuff, we think we're the issue. We blame ourselves for our parents' issues a lot internally, right? If I could just be this, or if I could just get them to see this, they could be better. So something surrounding that, revisit it and see what trigger may pop out while you're thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like the soreness surrounding some things. And that energy is also going to be a part of what is also showing up right now.
Okay. So my stepmother passed on August 28th. She's a Pisces.
Hey.
She's been running, like handling everything for my father for the last 23 years. Like when I tell you this man didn't have to pick up nothing, she did everything. Her passing has caused him to rely on me and my sister a lot to help him form a new life for himself. In doing that, it's caused anger issues for me. And I actually signed up for therapy today because of it. So
yep.
There
See,
it is.
dead on. So now you see what that is. So now it's like going back from the little child and thinking back from that point, and now moving forward to the fact of your stepmom and all these things. So the thing is this feminine energy, right? And how this feminine energy nurtures the masculine, or the demands of the masculine when it comes down to you as well. So some heavy stuff going on, but some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Divine timing for sure. All right, so 93 to 96, y'all. Think about that. All right, now moving into the full moon in Pisces right now. Okay. So today, full moon in Pisces, 25 degrees. Okay. So anything that you have that's in and around 25 degrees, it is highlighted. So if you put your brain on this, right? So if I was on my chalkboard, we just said Pisces on March 10th was at 20 degrees, did we not? Right? So now we draw a line from Pisces at 20 degrees on March 10th to now all the way 6 months. Boom. Full moon, Pisces, 25 degrees. So this whole span now, right? Of the latter part of the Pisces energy, just think about the last stage of Pisces, okay? It's the darkest part of the conversation of what we're dealing with. What happens at the latter part of Pisces? Death, let go, okay? The birth of new, okay? So like Carissa just said, her daddy is expecting them to help him to birth a new lifestyle, right? The universe is expecting all of us to birth a new lifestyle. What kind of new lifestyle? Whatever you want, okay? You're not subjected to nobody's idea of what it has to look like. You just have to do it for yourself. And that is difficult because you've been too busy doing other things for other people. So it sounds easy, but it's really difficult because you got too many things in your head. You got too much going on up there to where you're not balanced sometimes. You don't know whether you're going or coming. It's because you don't know whether you're going or coming. You don't really know what you're working on. You're all over the place, okay? So the energy of this, 20 degrees, all of the 25 degrees, okay? It's the energy of mastering yourself, okay? Mastering yourself. What parts of yourself? Your oracle self, okay? Let me give y'all imagery. Do y'all like the Matrix? Have y'all ever seen the Matrix? Okay. Do y'all know the Oracle in the Matrix? Okay. That's you. Every last one of you. That's all of us. What that means is, what is an Oracle responsible for? What does an Oracle do? Okay. When you get into your Oracle stage, what does that mean? That means your intuition is online. That means you trust God. That means you trust the goddess. That means you trust your womb. That means you trust your heart. You trust so many different things. Why? Because the oracle is very much tied to the end, which is death, and the beginning, which is birth. So when we start talking about doulas, okay? Doula is oracle work, okay? Why? Because you're holding space for the spirit to come through, right? We all have that in us. So when you get to this stage of Pisces, you're going to have to do two things. You're going to have to die and you're going to have to be reborn. And that's what's going to take for you to get into a new life. A new lifestyle means you're going to have to, some parts you got to die. And those process got to die is also attached to some people, places, and things that you cannot return to. Why? Because it's new lifestyle time, right? You want to be a millionaire? You want to be a billionaire? You want to be a lifestyle guru? You want to be a chef? You want to be a physical trainer? What are you saying that you want to be? Because whatever it is, it's going to take you have to tap into the oracle of you. The reason why you even say that you want to do it is because you already did it. That's what I mean when I say the oracle. You remember when she told Neo, don't worry about the vase? And then he said, what vase? And then broke the vase. And she said, now what's really going to bother you is whether or not you're going to think about that you would have broke the vase even if I had told you or not, right? That's you. You want to become the chef because you've already been the chef. So the vision that you have right now, again, Pisces ruled Neptune. Neptune is a dream. So when you're going to sleep, and sleep don't necessarily mean laying down in the bed at night. Sometimes you have your eyes open. You are daydreaming, still the same. Those dreams are coming up. Those visions are coming up. Those goals, I want to be, I want to do is coming up because you already did it already. Okay? You've already done it in previous lifetimes. And yourself now already sees your future self doing it now. But in order for you to get there, you got to look at ways in which you are avoiding self, the ways in which you are beating up on yourself and not doing what you need to do. To beat up on yourself is to anytime that you escape, anytime that you self-sabotage for whatever your reason and your rhyme is. Doesn't matter. That's you beating up on yourself because you came here with the opportunities afforded to you to use every lick of electricity that you have for your own agenda. We have individual agendas that make our collective agenda work. So when you don't want to do your individual agenda, it does affect all of us. Now, one of the things I believe, now I could be, putting some little gasoline on the fire. I believe when we start to deal with big wars and a lot of stuff that happens in the world where a lot of people go through the transition and die and stuff like that. And this is stuff that I've been thinking about lately, okay? So we can talk about it. If you want to talk to me about this personally, I'm open to it, okay? I think we start to go through heavy cycles in this world when we go through like death and change and transformation and stuff like that, right? And I know it's good, but sometimes I think it's because we are ignoring our gifts and talents. Why did I say that? Like I told y'all earlier, Pluto is going to get us to where we're supposed to be. By come hell or high water, it's going to get us there. But I think sometimes we don't recognize that your gift of art that you don't think is really a gift that you don't do, that gift of art is connected to somebody else that sees your gift of art that is probably like one of the biggest artists ever in the world. But because you won't do the art and post the art, that person can't see the art and do their art. And so now some of the biggest art in the world that we need to make this world go around, we don't have, but it's because you're not doing that small little part that you think is minuscule that don't matter. Everything matters when it comes down to who you are and your gifts and talents. So when these things are popping up in you and they're saying, do this, it's saying do this because that is a part of what's going to make our world balance. That's what's going to make us all balance. So we have to work in tandem together and do these things together. So when we go through these huge changes and transformations, we shouldn't be shocked. We should say, oh, this is because we need to come online a little bit more. We need to get into our power a little bit more. So when we look at what this eclipse energy is bringing us to, is bringing you to the end of what happened in March, the beginning of this year, is now giving you more details to the little things that you need to tap into, right? The things you need to see about yourself, not anybody else. It ain't got nothing to do with what nobody else did or said to you. It has everything to do with what you have done and said to yourself, okay? Pisces is where we get stuck. It rules the feet. So it's where we have the hardest, difficult issue sometimes with letting go and moving forward, okay? Let's look at the chart for today. All right. Zoom it in, zoom it in. So we just look at the wheel real quick. You'll see that most of the stuff we're dealing with is right here, right? Across from here. You see, we got these spaces right here that's still in Virgo because, we on our latter days in the last week of Virgo before we get ready to move. So we're moving into our Libra perspectives, right? So this is why some of the stuff that we are dealing with is very heavy in the cycles of relationship markers, okay? Libra deals with relationship. Libra brings about how you find balance in relationships. Why? Because the first 6 houses from Aries all the way to Virgo is about self. When we get to the 6th house, then it becomes about how we combine ourselves with the world, with everybody else. So the 6th house energy, the 7th house energy is that relationship house energy. But when we're thinking about how the vibration of what we're dealing with within this chart, this energy of the Libra and the Virgo energy is starting to get us to see where we need to do the work. Okay, Virgo is the work, Libra is the balance of the relationship dynamics. Now, it's across from this energy in dealing with the Pisces vibration, and we already know a little bit of the Chiron energy dealing with Aries, which we're going to talk about too in a minute. But this energy of the Pisces vibration, this is the power of letting go. So what I mean is the things that are in Pisces, if you can allow yourself to die there, okay? Die in the sense of old habits, old things, outmoded stuff, whatever. If you allow yourself to die, to be reborn, the energy that is going to directly slingshot the vibration into is the dynamics of your Pisces and Virgo placement. It's going to give energy to the Virgo and the Libra dynamic of what you're dealing with right now. I mean, it's going to start to get the ball moving on how it is that you're going to now move into relationships over the next course of 2 years. Again, not just romantic relationships, but also some of us too are changing the foundations of our business, right? We're now going into different higher levels of partnership when it comes down to our business too. This is also a part of that conversation. Now, out of this year, maybe some of the people that you work with, you recognize that you can't work with them no more. You need that relationship allows you to see what you really do need in business, or what you really do need in a friendship, or what you really do need in a marriage or a union. Something about this now is getting you clear in the details of what you're going to birth. But in order for you to birth it, you have to die first. It has to die. It has to let go. The power of you saying, I surrender to this because it's no longer a part of my vibration. So that means stories have to change. That means conversations have to change. The things that you're talking about, now you have to say, oh, I learned from that. I'm so grateful for that time period that I was in that situation because I learned so much. Oh my God, if I had never went through that, I wouldn't even do this. I tell people all the time, if it had not been for my marriage failing, we wouldn't be having class. We wouldn't be in this class right now. So should I be mad that my marriage failed? Or should I be happy? Or should I just be grateful that that part of the experience led me to this part of my purpose? That's what I'm saying. That's the maturity of Pisces coming from 20 to 25 degrees and on its way into the next dimension of Aries, right? We're at the last degree of this. So as we're starting to see this eclipse, and it's going on for some of us right now, this energy is highlighting some major themes. So the stuff that's going to happen from now, keep an eye on the things that's happening out today, all the way until we change these nodes in January, right? So these themes that are popping up. And when I mean themes, stuff that is really breaking your heart, breaking your emotions, right? Making you grow up and mature. What is pissing you off? Because whatever is pissing you off is where you need to really just sit with yourself and look at it and say, oh, that's okay. I got it. I know how to do that. But this situation from now is going to carry us from now all the way until March of 2025. Okay, so it's 6 months long. That's this yo-yo of it, okay? But the Pisces dynamic of what we're dealing with, again, Pisces, Virgo, North Node transits is going to be for 2 years. All right, now, Lilith real quick. Lilith in Aries is crazy. I'm sorry, not Lilith in Aries. I meant Chiron in Aries. Lilith in Aries is crazy, but that's not what I meant. The Chiron in Aries, okay, is a little crazy. What I mean by that is you got to think about Aries as the baby of the zodiac. It's the brand new energy coming in, okay? And because it's the brand new energy coming in, think about a baby when it wants something, okay? It try to talk to you at first, and then it goes to full-fledged screaming, okay? It just hollering and screaming. This is how we are in our wounded heel energy right now, okay? When things are coming up and showing up, that's showing us where our wounds are from our childhood, we is fighting about these things, okay? Understand that part of the issue that you're going to run into as you are the power of letting go of Pisces is that this wounded heel of Aries, it's not going nice. It is fighting, kicking, and screaming for this change, okay? But I'm going to usher you and honor you to go into the spaces, and when you start to think about Aries energy for yourself, the reason why you're kicking and screaming is because you want support and you want help. And I know we all do, but this is not that leg. Okay. This is your leg of leadership. So meaning on one part, some people gonna piss you off because they said they're gonna go with you and help you, and they're not gonna do it. And you're gonna want to fight and do all those things. It ain't gonna matter what you fighting about. Look at the universe is giving you examples of why, and this is the reason why, is because you got to go along. Sometimes when we have Aries in our chart is where we have to go along for a while. I don't mean that you're not gonna get the support, but it means you need to get the vision clear. Okay, so some part of this energy, as you tend to separate in the power of letting go, you're gonna want to hang on because you're gonna want the support, but you're not gonna get it right now because the only support you need is your own. okay, to clear the vision, to get clear. And the moment you get clear on it, which may take you a little bit, it is not no overnight thing. It may take you a minute to do it. Stay dedicated to yourself and what that is. But the first part of it is just letting go. It's just saying, okay, this is done. Thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you. Okay, I've let it go. Clean slate. Now I'm ready. And then start to test things out. Okay, you may say you want something, you may go for it, you may find out that you don't want it. Say you don't want it. This is also the time of being very vocal. Okay, using your throat to say, yes, I did say this, I tested out, that's not for me, I want something else. Okay, this is your life. And this next energy that we're bringing in, again, the other side of Pisces is Virgo. Virgo goes for what? Perfection. Okay, it wants the aim for the analytics of why this can be so great, how this can be so perfect. If everybody just do what they're supposed to do on the list, everybody take a goal and let's go for it, we can have it. It's a very disciplined energy that we're going to see on the back end of it. I'm gonna tell you something. We're gonna see bodies the best that we've ever seen them. Okay. It ain't no coincidence that we got all this, you know what I'm saying? And even though we know some stuff could be very inflated on social media, right? These bodies can be inflated, but we're still we're at a different time when it comes down to us really wanting to work on the genuineness of what our bodies look like. That's because we are really working on the energy of letting go. And the more we let go of these old, outdated energies as it relates to our Pisces energy and placements, as we let go some of this old family legacy stuff that's no longer working for us and that kind of stuff, it's going to improve our health. Okay, the house of health is the balance to that, which is also the benefit that you get when you say I'm letting go. When you say I'm letting go, improvement on your sixth house, improvement on your physical health, improvement on the way in which you digest. Because to let things go means you don't have time to judge it. It's not important to judge it. You understand it and you like, I'm okay with that. Okay. All right. Now let's get into let me just we talked a little bit about the nodes. I feel like the nodes are extremely important to this conversation too, because they are changing. So like I said, the more you study the Pisces placements and the more we're in Virgo dynamic, but we're leaving out of the Virgo dynamic, but the Pisces placement energy, the more you stay hammered in on Pisces from now, end of the year, and then again, the beginning of the year to Pisces season next year, you're going to be ahead, you're going to be on time because of those nodes change. So know that these conversations are very important because they're long. It's a long conversation about your Pisces energy or whatever's around it. Okay. I got my dad is in Pisces. We've been having conversations this whole year. So understand Pisces people in your life, Pisces placements, all the Pisces energy is coming up so that we can deal with some stuff. Yes, ma'am, Kelly Lynn.
Okay, so my Virgo Pisces axis spans 2 houses on each side. So it's the 8th house and the 7th house. I have Jupiter in Pisces in the 7th house. And then my Virgo is between the 1st house and the 2nd house. So when I'm split like that, am I dealing with all 4 of those energies, or is there a specific time frame to look at those?
You're dealing with all of it, right? Yes. Is it going to show up at different parts of time frame? Yes, it is. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to know it just based on the themes that you're dealing with. So for example, you say one is between the 1st house and the 2nd house, right?
Virgo is between the 1st house and the 2nd house.
Right. So you're going to deal with it. You're going to deal with Virgo because it's what you look like, right? But you also going to deal with Virgo because it is the dynamics of how you are accessing your money or accessing how you pull your royalties down into a tangible form. So you're going to process them and work on them in both spaces. You know what I'm saying? That if you're trying to work on your appearance, then you're going to lean a little bit heavier over on to work on from your 1st house perspective, right? But if you're working on money, then you lean on that perspective. You're going to lean on the 2nd house a little bit more if you're working on that. So it does definitely depend on themes, but it also depends on too, think about the fact that we are tapping into the Pisces intuition part of it, right? So what is intuitively coming up? What is the oracle saying within you as it relates to what it is that you need to, how you need to apply it and where you need to apply it? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because one of the things too, and I tell y'all this all the time, my goal with y'all in working with me is so y'all can get so used to the keywords and themes of what these planets and these houses mean, so you can throw your chart away. And you're like, Gigi, what are you talking about? Because once you know all of it, you can conveniently pick and choose what you want to be and how you want to be it. So meaning like when we get into these heavy themes of Virgo and Pisces, regardless of what you got in your chart, you should know where and how you want to apply Virgo and Pisces based on what it is that you're working on and what you need. You see what I'm saying? Because if you keep getting caught into like, well, I can't do this because I don't have this here, or that's not really, then you'll start to miss some of the opportunities that sometimes show up in astrology as well. You know what I'm saying? So just look at it where it shows up, and then allow the oracle energy, allow Pisces to intuitively tell you what you need to work on and what spaces that is in. But at the same time too, you allow yourself to see what's going on and just move with that. Okay.
Yes. I'm glad you said that though, because I just had a conversation earlier today. I like to not always look at what's going on with the astrology.
Mhm.
I like to feel what's going on and then use the astrology to kind of like confirm or deny what I'm naturally feeling.
Yes. I do that with predictive astrology, right? So like, if I know there are certain themes that are coming up just vibrationally, like once you start looking at the charts, right, you can start to already predict how things are going to move anyway. But then I start to look for themes in, if I'm on social media or if I'm happen to be out in the world, right? Again, these keywords don't just exist when we are talking about astrology. These keywords, these energies that are associated with these planets and these signs are everywhere you go. Okay, from colors to vibrations to birds to sound, like it's everywhere, right? So when you start to like get into that part of it, you can get into predictive astrology and you can get into confirmation astrology as well, because you can start to see that things around you are also telling you what's going on, right? So it doesn't matter if you are picking up your chart every day. I tell people it's good for you to pick up your chart every day because it's great for you to see what challenges and stuff that you're having, so that when you leave out your door and you're dealing with certain people, you already know how you need to balance yourself. You know, you could be prepared for the squares and the conjunction and the oppositions that you're going to face, so that you are not ruining relationships or burning bridges that don't need to be ruined because you just wasn't prepared. You know what I'm saying? But then when you start to look at that, when you go out in the world, the universe is going to confirm for you what is actually happening in astrology every time. I don't care what it is. If you on social media, you start to see themes of stuff that's going on, you can go and look at what's happening, and it's going to directly give you the same vibration. So you don't have to look at it every day. You just have to be in tune. And this is so good about, again, what we're talking about in today's class, or what we're talking about right now, is because this is asking for you to activate your superpower on a deeper level. And when I mean activate your superpower, I mean the combination of all your lifetimes and all the things that you had available to you are available to you now. Are you ready to receive it? That's the question. If all your superpowers, of all your money return, of all your husbands and all your wives, if whatever you're asking for, if all the things that you have acquired from lifetimes before showed up right now to give you that gift, are you in an emotional space? Are you in a balanced space? Are you in a space to receive it? And the answer for most of us is no, we're not, because we've been too busy distracted with other people's things. So you're not ready for those things. But the good thing of this now is that the universe is talking to you so loud that you can't even ignore yourself. You can't ignore it. You want to, but it's causing problems for you to where you can't. If these things that you've been using have been a distraction, now they're no longer a part of your distractions anymore. So now you have to listen to yourself. your superpowers, your oracle energy, the Neo in you, whatever you want to call it, is coming online in a major way. And it's because there are things changing. Okay, you are breaking the cycles in a major way, because the next 20-25 years of what we are planning and dealing with has a lot to do with what you are rebirthing. Whatever you are rebirthing is what the bloodline is going to have. It don't matter if you're talking to your mama or your daddy or not. You're still part of the bloodline. So I tell people, just because you disconnect from your family don't mean that you disconnect the blood. The blood is still there. So the things that you do is also planting seeds for the future you and the future of the bloodline. So that's what we're doing. We are eclipsing our own energy right now, because we got to let go. We have to stop fighting so hard for things that you do not want. You don't want these things. You're comfortable with them because your childhood was so broken in certain places that this is the attachments that you created, but they're no longer fitting for what it is that you are saying that you are attempting to birth for your life now. So these things are finna get ready to be eclipsed out of your life. These people, places, and things, if they have not already been eclipsed, they're tick, 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 boom. Okay, we here at that point. No need to can you mourn it? Yes, mourn it if you have to. Cry about it, okay? Let it go. But now you got a new slate. Now it's time for you to state what it is that you're going to now put in place. What are you going to birth, doula, into your life, into your new life, your lifespan, okay? Now, real quick, put what you have in Pisces in the chat, so I can give y'all some words. Let me go ahead and give y'all some words, okay? Let me get off of this thing right here. All right. Let's see. Okay, Jasmine says she don't have no Pisces placements. So since you don't have Pisces placements, tell me what you have. If you don't, along with Jasmine, if you don't see any planets in Pisces, okay, what I want you to tell me is what you have in Neptune. Okay, what's your Neptune sign? And this is only if you don't have no Pisces placement. You got Pisces placement, let's focus on your Pisces placements, okay? You can also write these additional down too for your additional studies, but if you got Pisces placements, I want to talk to you about those, okay? If you don't see your Pisces placements, I want to know what you have Neptune, okay? And what's in your 12th house, okay? You got me, Jasmine? And Brittany? Okay, is that Mallory? Hey, Mallory. So you got second house in Pisces. Do you have any planets in Pisces? Or just your second house? No planets. Okay, perfect. So second house Pisces, second house, foundations, monies, values, relationships. Okay, it's how we get the bag. When we start to look at how we want the money to come down and how we want to acquire our values and our foundation, second house is that. Okay, having Pisces in that second house, right? Pisces is the old man and the old woman. Okay, so now, and it's also tradition, very old tradition. So this is for anybody that got Pisces in the second. So listen to this as well. Having Pisces in second, looking at the eclipse energy today, this is definitely about your money, okay? So this means not just your monies, it's about your values, how you value yourself. It's about your self-care, how you've been taking care of yourself. And it's also been about the hand holding, okay? How much you hand hold for other people versus you taking care of yourself. The energy you're dealing with this eclipse vibration and for the next 2 years is going to be about how much, right? You ignore yourself for the sake of other people, getting a balance on that. So what I mean is part of your homework is to not only study the energy of having second house Pisces, but another part of your homework is to make sure that for the next 2 years that you have immaculate self-care, doing things for yourself, because that part of you ain't gonna just stop. You're not gonna want to stop helping people, and you shouldn't. But it's at what balance do you have this going on? Because if you're doing way more than you're doing for yourself, that's affecting your money. It's affecting your values. It's affecting how the values and you see in yourself. Okay, because if you really do value yourself, you should fill yourself up first and then continue to help. You got to think about, again, it's the old man and the old woman. So because it's old man and old woman, self-preservation. Okay, you have to preserve. Why do you have to preserve? Because we're talking at Pisces at its highest stage is the oracle. Are we not supposed to protect and preserve our oracles? Are we not supposed to protect this part of ourselves into it? You know, make sure that our intuition is on point. So this energy that you're gonna really have to deal with is finding the balance to the energy in which you are giving out. Okay, making sure that you're not sabotaging or self-sabotaging yourself by the things that you're doing for other people. Okay, because the more you give into yourself, the more you fill up here. And then let people come to you, you know what I'm saying, for the things that you can't help them with versus them calling you, you running out the phone, you know, they call you on the phone, you run out the house, you know, running all over the place, running yourself tired, and then you don't have no energy left for yourself. This energy is definitely a heavy conversation about how you find balance in that, okay? And what else did you say you had? Hold on. Where you at, Mallory? Okay, second house. And you says Neptune in 12th house in Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn. Okay, anytime we're dealing with Capricorn, we're dealing with the structure. We're dealing with the legacy. We're dealing with, I like to call Capricorn the bank because that's where we file taxes, okay? And Capricorn is the spender of the bank because it's the polar opposite of that, and it always has the investment of the Capricorn. So we think about Neptune, right? And we think about the fact that Neptune is the dream world, right? 12th house has a lot to do with our karmic energies. Also, sometimes where we find ourselves stuck sometimes and blocked a little bit. So we start to look at the Capricorn perspective of this. On one end of this is like, okay, how do I see the masculine energy? And am I overworking in that perspective of the masculine energy? Like, am I myself, right? Using work as a escape, okay? Or am I using this energy to make sure that I am not doing what I need to do for the self-care perspective? Why self-care? Because Capricorn polar opposite is Cancer, so we're always dealing with how we take care of ourselves. So some part of this conversation heavy, right, is self-care based, okay? But it's also you letting go of some things, right? Capricorn sometimes has something to do with maybe like having a parent that may have been worked too much. Maybe your dad may or may not have been in your life, or if he was in your life, maybe he worked a lot. So maybe some abandonment energy there too. And dealing with the legacy perspectives of that. So some part of this energy in legacy, in dealing with the masculine perspectives, you got to let go of it. Okay. The 12th house is requesting for you to let go of it. Your dreams may be also, you know what I'm saying, helping you or ushering you to let some of those things go, because our dreams are also coming online to let us know what we have to like really tap into. Okay. So if you say, oh, well, Gigi, I'm not dreaming, put your phone away, okay? Way away from the bed, okay? Before you go to bed, and when you wake up in the morning, don't grab your phone. Give yourself some time to digest, to download, to write out, to journal out what could be coming up for you, because your dreams are going to be very instrumental too in letting you know what needs to be let go of too over the course of this next 2 years, so you can see the things you need to rebirth in yourself, okay? All right. You're welcome, my love. Okay. Let's see. So that was Mallory. Comfort says North Node, third house. Now, you know, I shouldn't be telling you nothing. You should be telling yourself, ma'am.
But no, wait.
I'm just,
No.
I know, you know, I already know. I'm just teasing with you.
Don't do me like that, Jeff.
Like, please help me. Please tell me, help me. North Node, baby.
Okay, a few things.
Uh-huh.
Having my North Node return. This is my first time. I feel, I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, the Pisces man called me when the moon entered Pisces. I was flustered. I said, Lord, is this a sign? In my DMX voice.
It's time.
Okay.
Yes.
To let go or to hold on tighter.
But it's in the 12th house, right?
Well, he's a cat. His is conjunct my North Node in my third house.
Okay. So if he's in your third house, then no, this is mental health, mind. Some part of this is helping you to work out the mindset, okay, of this energy, right? Meaning like Pisces is again, where we tend to be overly helpful or want to I'm getting a little feedback from somewhere.
Oh, let me take you off.
Right.
Mhm.
But you know, it's also sometimes what we tend to overdo, right? And handhold. And I feel like this is also to you finding some spaces within yourself that you are connecting to the old ways of you, right? The old parts of you, right? Especially with your North Node is in Pisces, right?
Yeah, my North Node is in Pisces.
So some of this North Node energy is what we need to drive the car in, right? So some part when you and I talk about traditions sometimes, right? We talk about, you know, my man,
My man.
right?
Get me one.
This is very much North Node Pisces energy, right? Meaning like we've left the age of Pisces and we're into the age of Aquarius. So it's finding the balance between tradition and values and old ways of being, mixing with these traditional new ways of being, right? Finding the common ground into that. So some part of this conversation, even with the Pisces showing up and the fact that it's all in third house, is about how you are literally finding balance to how this working in your mind. Like how are you going to balance traditions of wanting my man, but you are a mycologist slash tantrika slash, you know what I'm saying? Like you got all these new age things that you do, right? And how does that combine itself with partnering in a traditional sense? You feel what I'm saying? So some part of this cycle and this energy that you're going to be going through, that you're going to be talking about, is going to help you to find balance to that.
Okay, you know what? Because this is what's been happening. I've been reworking my brain around how like women, how I or women or the feminine goes after men. So instead of going after the men that I like, I stopped doing that and I only started talking to the men who were coming towards me. As a result of that, I started talking to a Gemini. Hello, Jupiter return.
Hello, third house.
Who's been giving me the sprinkle life. Okay. And then that's showing me that like, oh, this is how I want to be. I don't want to be, you know, differently. And then I have people supporting me like Taju and Antoine. And then I had a conversation with Joseph yesterday and I could see that he was like not in a position where he could give me a sprinkle life. And I'm like, oh, and the whole time I've been looking at this man like he is but he's just a young boy in a Saturn return. And so I totally understand that. And I am having like these moments of just such mental clarity that I can let go now.
Yes.
It's almost like this unlocking of an ancient wisdom. Like, you know, old people get older, their minds just feel settled. Like I got it. And it's not that playing a game anymore. And I think before I used to like to test the waters or come back to things that I had heard over and over again to see if I was really right. And I almost feel my spirit, in terms of where my mind is at, feels very settled. Like I just feel mentally at rest, as opposed to like trying to get tortured in order to change.
You know you like a little torture. You know you like just a little bit.
I'm telling you, but I don't want it no more. I was telling my friend Mallory on this call. I told her, girl, I'm not waiting until my back against the wall to start I'm trying to do it before.
Yes.
I'm in a fight position. I'm trying, Lord, just come get me now. I'm out of moves.
Ain't no need to fight at this point. You know what I'm saying? And I think too, just that whole energy that you feel about just being a little bit more peace or a little bit more at ease with how you are approaching transition. It's all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like I was thinking about a situation that happened with my daughter 2 weeks ago. Like all of a sudden we had to like move her like within a matter of days. Like I literally had like maybe like between 5 and 7 days to get her moved, right? You had given that to me 2 years ago, I would be in a state of shit. You see what I'm saying? Panicking all over. Now I still would have got it done, but my energy, right, was just very much so, okay, well, hey, we just figure it out. To the point where my daughter was like, are you okay?
Mommy, you all right?
Okay, right? Because once you do get to a certain point to where you've seen the patterns, right? You see how life is showing up. You see what life is requesting of you. You can keep being upset about it, fighting, angry about it, or you could be like, okay, what is the course of action for me to take, right? That is the peace, the trust, and the stillness in, I know what I'm doing, right? Or I know how to do that. That's what I mean when I was telling y'all earlier about the oracle coming online. That is the supreme Pisces, right? Is that, oh, I already know this is taken care of. Oh, I can receive, I'm old woman, old man. I can sit back and, what I'm saying, let my grandkids take care of things. Like, things are afforded for me, taken care of. All I have to do is be the voice when I want to be. And if I don't want to be, I can cuss out the whole room. They gonna laugh. Oh, grandmama, you always talking that craziness. So you can do literally what you want to do. You can be what you want to be, right? And it's going to be supported as long as it's from you taking care of yourself. That is the issue. The issue is, are you taking care of yourself so that your oracle energy can come online, right? So you can receive, so that people can see you and say, hey, I can do this for you. Can I do this for you? You will say yes a lot more when you're in a space of recognizing that these are gifts that are showing up for you, and not you having to nitpick, oh, I want it, but I want it to look this way. Or, oh, no, I do, but it has to be driving this car. No, these are things. Understand what the universe is sending to you. It's sending you the energy that you're asking for in multiple different ways. It may not be in one person. It may not be in one best friend. Now you got 4 best friends. You can do 4 different, you know what I'm saying? Instead of us just being mad that we can't get everything out of one person. That's the shifts that we're all dealing with. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, that's so on point for me too, because that Gemini man is polyamorous, got multiple girlfriends. I said, I like this here. The man got other women to talk to. He done had a threesome last week, a male female threesome with another girl. I said, baby, call me and let me know how it went. Don't ask me for a damn thing. Ask them other people to do it.
That is directly in alignment. Third house too. Yes, this is going to be definitely training ground for some things for you. So I'm looking forward to how the conversations from this union stretch you, right? It stretch your mindset into being more abundant, right? We got to be more abundant. We got to be in a space of allowing, again, the universe to give us our gifts. And that means saying, yes, I do want this. This is what I do want. Now I'm good. But when I say now I'm good, that don't mean that I'm still not going to receive from this side of it, right? Being mad that this doesn't show up that way and closing off all other opportunities ain't going to work. Okay? We got to be open and be abundant to what this energy is doing for us.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Rakina? Am I saying that right? Sun and Pisces?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, you're saying it right.
Okay, Sun and Pisces. So, you already, you've been living with this Pisces thing your whole life.
Mm-hmm. When you were talking about the oracle stuff, I was like, ooh.
Yes. So this is, a level up. Okay, you finna experience another level up. Why? Because these nodes, when we talk about the nodes, we talk about the nodes of fate, right? That's what we call them, the nodes of fate. The reason why we call them nodes of fate is because they do hammer in on your faith in life, what it is that you came to do, how you're going to do it, how you approach those things. So a lot of the energy and the vibration of that we're dealing with, that we're getting ready to shift, is all dealing with this Pisces Virgo energy for the next 2 years. So this energy that we're dealing with today, and that we've been dealing with since March, has been like gearing us into this cycle of how heavy we're going to be in these cycles. So when it comes down to your energy, anytime we're talking about Pisces period, right? Pisces is the end of the zodiac. It's the very last sign. So we start talking about Pisces rules the feet. And it's one of those spaces where sometimes we find ourselves stuck. Okay. Meaning like we get a little bit, we get a little attached, okay? So some of these things for you, especially when now, is think about your attachments, okay? Think about family member attachments, friends attachments, you know what I'm saying? People who you've been knowing your whole life. You got that friend from elementary school, you know what I'm saying, that you've always been friends with, but y'all don't really have much in common, but you just know them, you know what I'm saying? Some of these relationships that you have been nursing and nurturing it for your entire life have not been reciprocal. Okay. And because they haven't been reciprocal, you have to now make some decisions on how much of your time energy that you're going to give. So over the next 2 years, it's going to be real heavy on self-preservation, real heavy about the energy that you've been giving to everybody else, the ways in which you've been showing up for everybody else. You have to go into that mode of recognizing that it's time for you to receive some of those things back. So sometimes that may mean that you can't make those phone calls and check on them. Okay. Let them check on you and see how long it's going to take them to check on you, right? So you can start to re-gauge what the relationship is, because a lot of the vibrations in our Pisces placements, we give out way more than we need to, okay? So this is going to be about pulling back a little bit and putting that energy into finishing your projects or starting those projects that you said you was going to start, you know what I'm saying? Into doing some of the other things that you said you wanted to get back into. It's time to go ahead and get back into those things, you know what I'm saying? Or creating some new things that you felt like you never had the time and opportunity to do. If you take that time from some of the energies that are not reciprocal in the energy, you can use that time for some of the things that you really need to use it for. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be real heavy into like adjusting your vibration, meaning like that oracle energy that you've been dealing with. It's going to be stronger. So now when you get ready to go do something that you already know spirit has told you that you don't need to do, it's going to be louder in your ear. Like, didn't we say we weren't doing it anymore? Didn't we say we was pulling back and going to reserve our energy? So now you try to go against yourself and it's going to be real loud. Okay. It's going to be real in your ear about, okay, hold on, I got to change this because this is not working for me. Okay. You can't blame other people for your deficit in your energy, because the universe is saying that your deficit in your energy is about you making sure that you're taking care of yourself first. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Jans, you came back? Okay. Neptune and Sag at 26 and Gemini at 12. Okay, so Neptune and Sag, dreams, travel. When's the last time you went somewhere? When are you going somewhere again? Work on your trips, work on your if you're in a space where you need to level up on something and you feel like you need a little bit more education, now's the time to do it. So meaning use this cycle right now that we're in to find some programs. Find some things that you can do that's going to allow you to expand your consciousness and expand your mindset, because it's a time to do that. Sag at 26 degrees, meaning that it's ending this cycle out, getting ready to go into the Capricorn vibration. So you are already dealing with it when we're talking about this 20 to 25 degree anyway, meaning it's very strong in the dynamic of what we're dealing with. But the Neptune part, the dreams part, what are you dreaming about? Get a dream journal immediately, okay? If you don't have one already, you need to be writing these dreams down. Make sure you're not zapping your dreams, or what I'm like to say, letting these people record your dreams on your cell phones. Y'all see they didn't pass a law now. They've been trying to stop these people from zapping our stuff. Understand that grabbing your cell phone, they've been doing it. They've been stealing. That's why some of your ideas, you had it, and then next thing you know, next day you see it, it's on an Instagram ad. You're like, wait a minute, I just thought about that yesterday. Where did it come from? They zapped it. Okay. So now watch your energy when it comes down to your dreams, right? Get a dream journal. Also have a list of places that you may want to travel to over the next 2 years. Have some things that you may want to study. If it's not necessarily going back to school, maybe just some things that you want to put some time, energy into as far as finding more information out about, okay? Those things, you know what I'm saying, are definitely online. Let's see, travel, education. Oh, spiritual practice. What are you doing right now for your spiritual practices daily?
I do do them daily. I've upped my number of meditations per day and
Good.
per day. My dream, I want to quit my job. That is
You said you
my
want to or you went to?
I want to.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to quit my job. I think that is the dream.
Okay. Well, you got Gemini in the 12th, which means you have Leo in the 1st. So the energy of this is also about you having the courage to step out and do that. Okay. Meaning like the energy of the 12th house Neptune thing is what are you afraid of, right? What's the energy going on in that space to where you
My Leo is in the second.
wait a minute. What's in the first? Gemini in the first too?
Cancer rising. My first ascendant, Cancer.
Oh, yes, you got Gemini in the 12th. Correct. What did I see Capricorn? Oh, I was looking at Mallory's. I'm sorry. So no, you have Gemini in the 12th, which puts Cancer in the first. Correct. So the energy of that is a boss, right? So meaning that step out, you're not gonna have no issues if you quit your job, because Cancer first house, you got investors walking around waiting to invest in you. You just
Okay.
gotta know what it is that you're gonna do. And if you do it along with self-care or something that's teaching some type of womb care, breast care, feminine stuff, you know what I'm saying, would be a automatic go-to, right? But listen, having Cancer in the first house, meaning you can do businesses on multiple different things. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's something that is going to bring care, right? Self-care, nurturing, some type of healing in that perspective, you're not gonna have no issue. So if you don't want to quit your job because you think it's a money thing, then again, that's why you got Gemini in the 12th house causing you the problems, because 12th house is where you stuck. So you stuck because you keep going back and forth between, yeah, this is what I want to do, and wait a minute, let me give myself some little bit more time. So you keep yo-yoing yourself and you psyching yourself out, but everything you need is already there. It's already in your chart. It's showing you that you're not going to have an issue. So
Yeah,
your
this is
problem, you know your problem why you won't quit?
why.
Because sometimes when we have Cancer in our chart, is where we doubt ourselves. Okay. Meaning that waiting on somebody else's approval sometimes, right? To say, yeah, that's true. You can do it. Yeah. So it's the doubt is the issue. It's not the lack of money. It's not the lack that you don't even know what to do. It's the fact of the approval. So you're gonna have to get in that mirror and do some approval, some daily. Add to your daily practices, that daily approval of looking at yourself in the mirror and say, we can do this, we about to do this, set a date line on when you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? And start to work yourself towards it. And I promise you, once you get in, it's gonna be the best decision you ever made it. Because baby, first house Cancers, y'all do know but draw money.
Okay.
I wish I could take all y'all places and be like, just stick them all in money.
Well, this is helpful because I was coming up with all these different, well, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. But the conflict I was feeling is I actually realized I'm a healer. And then I was like, well, how am I gonna make a living as a healer?
Girl. You got listen, it's a whole bunch of me. It's a whole bunch of us right in here, baby.
Yeah, I know. And I'm like, I know a ton of people making a living as a healer. So I have to, I have to deal with the doubt.
And you are understand that a Cancer rising is a walking around nurturer. Okay. So think about it as like a person who, as they're walking through life, they look like a pillow walking, like a big hug.
Or
Okay.
a titty. And people just
I wasn't gonna say it. I'm glad you did. Like two titties walking around. Okay.
Yeah.
Up and fill of milk, ready to give some juice.
And
Okay.
people just yeah,
That's
okay.
the energy. So it's always going to attract what you need. For you, again, is knowing, yes, we're gonna do this. Approval. We got it. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So work on that. Yes, ma'am. And the eclipse energy is gonna give you some more details. So watch the dreams. Watch what's popping up, because it's giving you some more details about, again, remember, everybody, oracle stage. You are walking into your oracle stage. So meaning, as spirit is telling you, follow the guide, follow the yellow brick road. Okay, it's all you. All these are different forms of you that's showing you how to get there. So as this energy is coming online for you, Jasmine, about what it is, it's going to give you the details. There's no guesswork in this. Okay. All right, we did that. Okay, hold on. I did Mallory, I did Jasmine, I did Rakina, Brittany. I didn't do you, right?
And Brandy.
Okay, but Brittany, did I do you?
You didn't.
Okay, good. Okay. Neptune and Capricorn at 27 and 12th house Taurus. I'm gonna start with 12th house Taurus and go back up. Okay. 12th house,
Okay.
where we stuck. 12th house is the karmic house, one of the karmic houses. Okay. In that 12th house dynamic of having Taurus there, right? Taurus Another word for Taurus is or a line for Taurus is get somebody else to do it. Okay. Did you hear what I said? Get somebody else to do it. So the places where you may be stuck in your 12th house dynamic is because you want it done for you. As you should, because Taurus is the prince and the princess. So it's like, where's my team? Can somebody come do my hair, my nails, feed me, right? It's that energy. But because it's 12th house, right? Is where maybe you have rested too much on this, right? In a past life. And now this life, you have to use those energies. So Taurus is sometimes when we have the vibration where it comes in to like hold up this royalty or this status for us. Okay. So sometimes when we have that, it's like, why am I having to work so hard to do this? Right. And you don't have to work hard. You just have to work. You just have to do a little bit. Okay. So this energy is showing you where don't get so caught up into thinking that, oh my God, how long am I have to do this? Or, how long is it going to take? Just start and initiate. And I promise you just start and initiate. You show the universe that you're ready to take this on, and they're going to come in and bring you a team to do it. So you ain't got to do much. Okay. As long as it's like being hungry, okay? Because Taurus like to eat. So it's like being hungry and be like, oh, I don't want to eat. And then be like, okay, fine. And then going into the kitchen and getting all the stuff that you're getting ready to cook. And then all of a sudden somebody came in and be like, you know what? I do that for you. Be like, oh my God, I'm so happy because I didn't want to cook for myself. As long as you show up that you can do it and you are willing to do it, the universe gonna give you the rest. Okay, that's that part of it. So don't get so stuck and blocked in your 12th house and you be like, oh, okay, I'm tired. I want to do it. Neptune and Cap, right? Your dream states. Neptune is the dream state. Capricorn, some part is about you dreaming about what family is supposed to be or how you want family to be. Okay. Maybe some part of your childhood is you're trying to duplicate or maybe repair some part of what you didn't have from your childhood. Okay. When in a lot of different ways versus you trying to duplicate that, maybe look at it in a different perspective, because Pisces is where we need to let go, the power of letting go. So some energy about that you want to, and let me give you an example. If your daddy went in your life, right? You like, well, you know what I'm saying? I ain't finna give it a man if he can't be there for my kids. Stuff like that, right? Versus looking at it, and I'm just using an example. I'm not saying that was your case.
It's accurate though.
Okay, well,
hey, yeah.
I'm in my oracle stage, right?
Okay.
So when you think about the energy of that particular perspective, instead of saying, well, I have to have a man who's gonna be in my life for my kids, it's thinking about the fact that you didn't have it because you wasn't supposed to. What do I mean by that? We all come with what we're supposed to have in life. And sometimes we harbor on what we didn't have. And we like, I'm going to give that to my kids because I didn't have it. And your kids don't need that. Your kids only need you. So now you are trying to give your kids something that you think they want, but you just trying to heal that broken child energy that's going on inside of you. I'm going to give you an energy, a little quick example. My daddy has always been in my life. Him and my mom are still together, even though they argued and fought pretty much every day, all day that I can remember. I did not, when I got married, I said I was getting married one time and that was it. Okay. I said when I had a baby, I was having one child and that was it. Okay. And my baby daddy was going to be in my life. We were going to be together forever. Okay. We broke up. And when I tell you, I tried everything I possibly could to keep this marriage from falling apart because I did not want my daughter to have something that I had, right? For the longest, I kept feeling sorrow from that, and apologizing to her. And it took her telling me this, even though I knew this, it still took her telling me this. I was like, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to attract a partner or attract a situation to make sure that you at least had, even though my dad is, my parents argue, at least my dad is in my life or whatever. And she was like, you know what I'm saying? You have these battles between what you thought I should have had versus what you had. She was like, but if dad wanted to be in my life, he would have been in my life more. She just said it just straight out like that. If he wanted to do it, he would have did it more. So it's not really something that you could have done to change that dynamic. But in my mind, it's important for me as a mother to make sure that my daughter have her daddy in her life and the reality is we have to look at what life is giving us and say, oh, life is giving me this because this is what I'm supposed to have, and work from those dynamics. So some energy, and when you think about how you are now planning for your own life and your own legacy, let it be something genuine in the space of, I want this to be a thing that is for me, right? Versus me trying to replace something that was missing, right? Because nothing was missing. Even though we tell ourselves these things, nothing was missing. Whatever you were supposed to have in your life as it relates to the masculine energy, you got that. But guess what? More is on the way. We still ain't dead. We still got stuff coming. But sometimes to harbor in so hard on our childhood perspective sometimes make us try to duplicate a life for our children or for our family that is not warranted. So give your family, give your children what they want, what they need from you, and allow that to be their space, versus us feeling like we're broken if we don't give them what we didn't have, or we broke them if we don't afford this particular type of aspect of lifestyle that they're supposed to have. You got to give them what it is that what the universe is bringing towards that. But keep thinking about that and how that's been showing up for you, because some parts of this Capricorn energy is making you forced for deal with the perspectives of masculine energy, okay, and how you see it, okay?
I needed to hear that because, dealing with the breakup or whatever, that is my child's father. And I have been beating myself up and trying to figure out, like, I don't want him to grow up without a dad like I did. So how can I fix this and keep us together?
Yes. And the reality is y'all will always be together. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all have a child. Now, when it comes down to how he then shows up for that child, that I'm telling you right now, as a mother of a almost 21-year-old, it don't matter how much you fight, argue, scream, kick, you cannot force a parent to parent. You cannot do that, okay? Even if you go to the court or the system, you cannot force a parent to be a parent. What you have to do is, again, trust the universe that you got with this person, because this was divine timing for y'all to create this child, and your baby is going to always have what they need. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to focus on. Universe, send me what I need. Universe, make sure that me and the baby have what we need. You feel what I'm saying? Versus, trying to force him to be something that's only going to bring you more heartache. It's only going to close your heart off to your ability to really draw and attract more love, or attract whatever the next level is. You feel what I'm saying? Allow him to learn what he needs to be for his child on his own too. You can't force him to see those things. As women, we want to do this all the time. We want to force men to do, and trust me, I tell you, I didn't try all the ways. I didn't try all of them. All it did was came back on me. I was the person that was dealing with all the energy of it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to file this paperwork and file that paperwork. All of that stuff only came back on me. What I mean is that was me emotionally dealing with it. And the moment I took my hands off of it and I said, Spirit, I don't even care no more. If you would just make sure that I have what this baby needs for everything, the rest of it, I'm going to let you take care of that. And since I said that and did that, she has not gone without anything. Do you hear me? Whatever her mama can't do and step up, there's a whole spiritual team behind me that's making sure that it's getting done. So either I can try to force her dad to do it and be without, or I can let the universe show up for me so I can make sure that we always have. You feel what I'm saying? So it's going to be okay, baby. Trust me when I say this is what, but the eclipse is showing you this so that you can work on what the foundation of the family looks like moving forward. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so then I got Brittany, and then Brandy, right? Kelly, did I
Yeah.
do you?
No, you didn't do me yet.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, where you at, Brandy? Well, I'm gonna do Kelly, Brandy. I think you belong. Where's your stuff at? Pisces in 12? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I do Kelly and then I do you. All
Okay.
right. Kelly, Jupiter and Pisces in the 7th house, relationship expansion, baby. Congratulations, we made it. We here. Didn't you just tell me within the last class you dating somebody? Did I hear that? Or was that a dream?
No, that was not a dream.
Mm.
It's a dream. It is a dream that has come full circle. And it's interesting because it's somebody that I met a year ago, and it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. He lives somewhere else. And so I just let go of it. I wasn't mad about it. I didn't attach to it, but there was I had a fender bender, and he's an attorney, and I was like, should I call him or not? Because I was going to court. Should I call him or should I not call him? And I called him, and he's been showing up the way that I desire since then.
Great. Because that's what this is about. So this is a new level of relationship for you. Okay.
And
so
I had to let go. I had to let go of someone else.
Yes.
That liked me, that I didn't like him. I didn't like him the way that he liked me. And I sort of wanted to like him that way, but I was like, I just don't feel him in that way. And he showed his ass when I told him that I was interested in pursuing something with someone else.
Yeah.
And that just completely flowed away.
Yeah, and just adding this in there, okay? Just so just in case it shows up, you'll be prepared. Something about something from the past is not done. So whether it be with him that you're talking about now, or somebody else from an old person from the past coming back up into this. Why? Because you're in a new relationship cycle. Anytime we're starting a new relationship cycle, Jupiter and Pisces in the 7th house, it always brings back the past to make sure that we are going into the future. You feel what I'm saying? And because it is Pisces and it is a wrap up of something, this energy that you are asking for, you're in the newness of relationship. But sometimes when we get into the new relationship, you know, when they say your exes can always smell when you're happy and they show back up.
I feel like that other person was my opportunity, because like, I don't like conflict, and like I felt bad because I know his feelings were hurt, but I was like, this is not about him. This is about me. Mm-hmm. And what I want. So I feel like, you know, there was a degree of doing things different on a lot of different levels that has brought me to this point.
Yeah, and from now until the next 2 years, it's going to be the balance of that. You know what I'm saying? That part. And I'm also saying this too, because it's also, you saying it's spanning over into the 8th house, correct? And the fact that it's spanning over in the 8th house, this is where like fear versus power and change and transformation. So some parts of this, you're in the new cycle, you're expanding in a new cycle in the Pisces and the 7 too. But we're also still in this retrograde part of Pisces, right? So the retrograde Saturn part of the Pisces. So some part of this energy that's hanging in the 8th house is also bringing up some old past stuff that needs to be transmuted and transformed. And that's what I'm saying about as it shows up, it'll show up as if, no, where were you year and a half ago when I really was interested, or when I really needed you? So it's almost like making you have to like have a battle of heart versus mind, or mind versus future. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is really what I wanted, right? And this is what I know I want now, but they're starting to overlap and cross, meaning it's just giving you some time to just kind of weed through it, so you can make sure of the next 2 years that you are solid in your relationship foundation, so that you are not like, you know, wondering what ifs or the hypotheticals of the situation, because the energy that could be showing up in the 8th house is a strong sexual tie too. So something about this sexual energy, or, you know, y'all had really good chemistry, or y'all had something really good, right? And it didn't work out. Now you're in this new relationship energy that's making you look good, you're balanced, like you're drawing, the receive is being drawn, right? And now 8th house say, oh, but did you remember about this? Did you forget about this? We need to weed this out too. So that little bit of eclipse thing that will show up just to show you, kind of see where you are in the maturity of, I'm not going backwards. I know I did. It was good too. I did want it, but no. I'm moving forward, because now I see life as being a little bit more balanced and peaceful, and I don't want to deal with that. Okay.
So interesting. 1993, I was graduating high school. 1996, I was entering into a new relationship with someone that I thought I was gonna be with forever.
See what I'm saying? The cycles.
Yeah.
So relationship cycle, you know what I'm saying? But still good. You know what I'm saying? From now until your birthday though, it's gonna be highlights. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoo, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. That's good. But when we get into Scorpio season, that's when this energy is gonna pop up. That's when this sexual, I'm gonna go ahead and call him a sexual daemon. This sexual daemon gonna show up in during the Scorpio season, okay? And try to remind you and remember when, or remember how, or remember what, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I hate you. I hate what you're doing to me right now, right?
Well,
But still good stuff. You know, you being a poly woman, you been a poly woman, you can navigate this, but I'm just saying it's showing up.
this current situation is really helping me forget the other situations. So
Exactly. Okay. So good. You got it. You got it, ma'am.
right on. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. All right. Who did I miss? Brandy. Okay. Pisces in the pieces in the 12. Girl, I look every time when you see pieces, it made me think about Reese's Pieces. Okay. Pisces in the 12. So karmic cycles, ending of the sabotage. Okay. The sabotage is done and over. Huh?
No, I'm listening to you.
Okay. The sabotage is over. 12th house is where, again, we get stuck. Having Pisces in the 12th, Pisces rule the 12th. So this is an energy of what's going on when it comes down to you moving to the next step of your life, right? And this is the sacrifice and how you've been sacrificing yourself as it relates to family. Okay, this can be your children, this can be your mama, your daddy, the people that are close around you. But the energy of this is recognizing that in order for you to get into the oracle stage and get into the self-care stage and do all those things, you got to be willing to let go of the things that make you escape. Okay, so meaning like, you know, you need to do this, but you rather do this because I don't feel like doing this right now. Okay. So over this course of what we're dealing with today, and from now until the end of November 15th, that Saturn and Pisces retrograde energy is going to be hammering down on you and your structure and what you need to do when it comes down to making sure that you are getting your ducks in a row. Okay. It has been hammering on you since the beginning of the year, and it is going to keep hammering on you because by the time we get to January, you should have a complete different structure of how you are navigating life. Okay. So this stuff that you still stuck on, again, tap into your oracle self and be like, why am I feeling stuck? What am I not doing? What am I resisting right now to where I'm just not getting this thing done, right? Consistency is always going to be one of those things. Why? Because when we're talking about the energy of what makes us move, it's sometimes not looking for the result or the rewards right away, but knowing that consistency is going to start to show the result of it, along without us having to do all this extra stuff, right? So it's about you recognizing that as we go through this energy right now, the stuff that is showing up is breaking you free from the energy that's got you stuck. Are you having some issues with your feet? Your feet hurting? Your feet swole?
Yeah, but I ended up getting a massage Sunday. So, and I've been getting my feet rubbed a lot.
Yes, because are you still driving?
Yes.
So you gotta understand, you got and
I
along.
forgot to tell you too. I'm moving.
Well, good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now make that money. Okay. So it's gonna be real more so important now that because you are again working, you driving, you're doing these things, you gotta keep your circulation going on your bottom half. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you don't, it's going to make it difficult for you to maintain working. So I need you to now incorporate in this Pisces discipline and trying to get things together. Can you incorporate just like maybe taking a few breaks, or when you do your schedule for the week, when it comes down to certain things, and incorporate maybe like just a little walking just to get the circulation moving. Okay. I need you to make sure that you're getting some steps in. Okay. And it don't have to be a lot, but just some that so your body can regulate your blood flow so that you're not having no numbness in your feet or starting to deal with any, issues as it relates to dealing with your feet. Going to keep your reflexology up is going to always be great to do that. But make sure that you're also doing something that just, even if you're just kind of stepping in place, even if you're not walking down the street, you're just like doing this or putting some music on, or just kind of like just moving your legs, get your circulation going in your legs, okay? And
Okay, because
work
I
on
ended
your-
up getting a free dance class because I told you I was taking my sensual dance classes, so I got 3 of them for free since I graduated. So yeah, I'm planning on putting them in the schedule for sure.
Exactly. That would be great. Dancing is fun. It don't even make you look like you're doing it, okay? Because
That
it's
part.
all within the vibration. So yeah, so stay in that space. Next 2 years, balance it out, work hard on how you see your Pisces. Again, Pisces is feel, okay? Meaning like it's the dream state, but it's also how we're into our feelings. The biggest thing that you guys are going to have to do for this eclipse is feel, okay? And when I mean feel without escaping. Now, y'all know I'm an advocate for microdosing things, okay? Now, there's a difference between microdosing and escaping, okay? Now, escaping is when you just want to make sure for the next 2-3 days, you so numb, you don't feel nothing, okay? You ain't answering no phones, you ain't talking to nobody. That's the escape part of it, right? But when we come down to you trying to get into your feelings, yes, if you got your psilocybins or you got different things that's going to allow you to help you to get into your feelings, okay? But that's the biggest thing that you're going to have to do, because when you get into your feelings, the truth is going to come out, okay? What
I'm
truth are we
sorry.
talking about? Come on, Carissa.
I'm sorry, Gigi. Did you go over Pisces in the 3rd house? That was what I wrote for mine.
Let me see. Hold on.
I don't have it Pisces at any planets, but it's just in the 3rd house.
I don't think so. I think I skipped over you, didn't I? Nope, I don't think I went over you. I think I went Kelly, and then I went, oh wait, I didn't even know Michaela was in here. You ain't saying nothing, Michaela. You just gonna sit down there and be quiet, huh? I'm just down looking like, wait a minute.
I wanted to
I've
ask
been
a question
distracted.
too.
You said you've been distracted?
I listened, but mine was similar to Jasmine, so I listened to that one,
Okay.
and so as
like,
you were finishing, I was gonna be like, "Oh wait," but I thought I heard everything that you said to Jasmine, so I was like,
okay. I just saw your name. Like, wait a minute. I had to look over here and then look over here. Like, I didn't even see her up in here. Okay. Now, what you said something, Brandon? What'd you just say to me?
I said I wanted to ask a question.
Okay. Just hold it real quick. Hold it 1 second for me. Okay. So I'm just trying to go back and see what your placements are. Okay, no placements in 9th house, Neptune. Okay, yeah, I did. I pretty much did go over those. Okay, now go ahead, Brandon. What you finna say now?
So remember I was telling you about my my male friend, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and I was telling you about well, I don't think I told you he's a Pisces. So I know you like match that up with, what our placements are. So I'm trying to see like where does that show up for me?
Well, where's your Pisces placements?
It's in the 12th house.
It's in the 12th house. So where is he at? Your 12th house.
Right.
He's your 12th house energy. So now if we're talking about what energy that he brings you, remember I say this, the spaces of now where you may get stuck, right? So if we got a person who is mirroring your energy of your 12th house, he's going to be showing you certain spaces where you could either be freeing up, you know what I'm saying? Showing you how to free up, showing you about self-care, you know what I'm saying? Or how you need to be taking care of yourself. Or he may be an agent that you are spending more time on, right? So it's not allowing you to really get into yourself. Some parts of this relationship is showing you a mirror reflection of some things you need to see about yourself when it comes down to the 12th house. Right. So if you wanna take the 12th house out, delete the 12th house, put him there. He is the actual 12th house talking to you. You understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, Gigi,
I'm
skipped
finna,
me
I'm-
again.
no, I'm coming back to you. I want
Okay.
to skip you. I want to skip when she said she had a question. I want to let her go in and answer a question, so I didn't go to you and then have to come back to her. All right. So now Pisces in the third house. Anytime we're dealing with the third, okay, mental health is first. Okay, Pisces rule the mind, psychological. Okay, it's also dealing with siblings. Okay, or people that we grow up with that are like our siblings. So this could be cousins, okay? This could be next door neighbors that, you know what I'm saying, you step over their house, they step over yours. That also that communication, but it's heavy on how we are communicating what is in our mindset, okay? So the fact that you have Pisces in that placement, well, if we think about what Pisces is, old man, old woman, wisdom, oracle, you know what I'm saying? And on the other side, it is, you know, where we go to drink and drug and escape and all those things. So now we combine those themes and put them in the third house is how you are now intellectually thinking about yourself as it relates to your particular placements as a whole. So meaning like, how do you think when it comes down to you processing of your old ways, right? When you think about traditions and you think about the old school versus new school, right? Where's your intellectual thought in there? Where are you in the placement of that? Meaning like, are you judging old ways or judging new ways? So where it makes you, you know what I'm saying, feel like you are caught in the middle of this. Gemini's always going to be two things, right? Gemini is the ruler of the third house. So when we get into the third house, it's always both or masculine and feminine. So it's also watching how you may clash into that dynamic of gender roles and how you see gender roles. Women are supposed to do this, men supposed to do this, you know what I'm saying? All these different things that are all just mental mindsets, you know what I'm saying? That they will make you start to develop such a mental construct of mental health situations to where when you start to get in situations, you don't want to communicate with nobody, you shut down. What we also have in the third house too can also make us lose ourselves. So it's also watching the fact that you don't have certain ideas or ways in which you think because it's all based on what other people want you to have or what they think you should have too. So it's losing yourself in these dynamics of what the mind could actually process and think about when it comes down to the old ways versus the new ways. You know what I'm saying? Where is your balance in that? You got me? And what else you had on there? You just said no planets. Okay, 29 degrees means at the end too. So it's like change and brand new because 29 degrees is pretty much your cusp energy. So it's Pisces and Aries in the third house is how I would use that. So when you find yourself getting stuck on certain things and it becomes an issue for you, like let's just say you sitting there, you talking to somebody, y'all going back and forth or whatever, old versus new, man versus woman or whatever. The way you shift that is change the subject. Well, what if you think about this, bringing up something that's never been heard before? Your conversation should mostly your conversation should mostly contain spaces of how to push things forward, leadership, next, right? Because Pisces is the end, but it's also the helping to birth the new, right? So you're helping to birth new concepts. So don't get caught into the old concepts too much. Don't keep talking. Well, back in the day, you know, women did this and men did that. No, what about now? What's going to work for right now? And having conversations and developing mindsets that can help people to have conversation about how we need to be now and not much so on how we used to be. Yes, are they good for conversations? Yeah, but if we get too caught into that, that's not going to suffice on what we need now. Those times do not go with what we got going on right now. You feel what I'm saying? So push the conversations forward on what you need for now and what we need for now as far as moving forward, and don't get caught up on too much old traditional stuff. Okay? Question?
No, just thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. Let's see. Okay. Cherie? I don't think I did you, did I?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right, so we got Mercury in Aquarius in the 12th house and Pisces in the first. Okay, Pisces rising. So rising sign is what you look like. Okay, so the energy of Pisces rising is also similar to other water signs. It's very nurturing. Okay, so one of the things that you're going to be dealing with in the conversation of this full moon eclipse energy and dealing with the Pisces perspective is understanding that when it comes down to how you lean forward or how you move forward on people seeing you and how you're showing up in those perspectives, is you making sure that you are leading off with taking care of yourself first. Okay, where we tend to have Pisces is where we tend to be sacrificial, or AKA we self-sabotage. So some part of this energy is about your self-sabotage. Have you been self-sabotaging yourself for the sake of helping and being a good support system to other people? Okay, when in order for us to continue to be that way, we have to also lead off in a good experience to make sure that we are taking on our own ownership of taking care of ourselves. So the Pisces in the first energy is making sure that in this, as we move forward in this next 2 years too, that you are, you know what I'm saying, calling back some of your energy and making sure that you are now taking care of yourself. Okay, make you the priority over the next 2 years. Now, when we start to combine this energy of Mercury and Aquarius, and it's in the 12th house, the energy of Mercury and Aquarius, Mercury don't necessarily like, you know, well, I ain't gonna say not like to deal with Aquarius. Aquarius don't necessarily like to talk sometimes. So this could also be where you are finding yourself stuck in your own conversations when it comes down to how you are transitioning from your 12th house perspective. So you think about the 12th house is where you get stuck. So that means getting stuck in conversation, or maybe not necessarily talking about things that you may feel like is important. Aquarius is also where we have community and where we're supposed to show up for the community. And because right now we have Pluto in Aquarius energy, this could also be a part of that. I'd have something to say, but I'm sitting on it and I'm not saying it. So some part of this dynamic that we're dealing with Pisces from now to the end of the year and next year is you kind of like building up a little bit more tolerance on being able to communicate the things that you need to communicate when it comes down to the stuff that is important to you, and it's important to people that are around you too. Some parts of these changes that are need to be made probably won't get made if you don't say something. Okay, so I know sometimes like the universe putting that responsibility on me. In some ways, yeah, we all got responsibilities. So the things that we really need change on, or that change has been initiated on, you may be in the vibration where your Mercury is being sparked for you to speak up and say some things about it, right? And you find yourself getting stuck in that dynamic. So it's being able to like escape for a moment to decide how you want to be able to communicate that and be able to say that out. But you're going into a cycle to where your communication matters about the things that matter to you. So you saying something and finding ways to be able to say those things are really, really important. Okay, so not just sitting on and be like, okay, I'll get to them. No, if you don't get to them, then some part of the age of Aquarius is suffering because of that. So communication, finding ways to say, they'll just be like, I'm okay, when you know you're not okay. Being able to vocalize and trusting that the energy is going to be okay. Now, again, you being Pisces sun energy and it's in your first house, you already used to the Pisces sun energy, but now it's a different level of it, meaning that I know you taking care of family and taking care of kids and taking care of everybody, but this next cycle is the energy of making sure in order for you to continue to do that, we gotta up your part in how you take care of yourself. Okay, no more like hand holding double or extra. Like now it's time for you to be like, hey, I need this time for me. Okay, so take more time for yourself. All right. Okay. Now, who did I miss? She give me an advice in 2021, and I have what? You haven't had what since comfort? What is you haven't had BD issues since? What kind of BD issues? Baby daddy, girl.
Give that advice. And now anytime that nigga call, I give him the baby.
What advice did I tell you? Won't you share for?
Okay, you told me I was like struggling because I had all of these like ideas around, you know, how a father's supposed to show up in his daughter's life, and I'm trying to go the extra mile to make sure he knows about her dental appointments and who her teacher is and what day school starts, and trying to get them to get together and for him to spend time with her. And he wasn't coming to me asking me for any of that information. None of it. And so because I had so much expectations on how he was supposed to respond to me, to this vision I have in my mind of what a father is to do, I was just having so much conflict. And and you had said like, their relationship is their business. It's not your business to help them have a relationship. They made a karmic contract. I heard you and I just said, okay, let them have the relationship they're gonna have. And I just completely stopped. I stopped calling him to give him information he didn't ask for. I mean, I wasn't being petty, but I just stopped. Anytime I knew it was attached to an expectation of how I expect him to react as a result of receiving this, I just stopped. He stopped calling, girl, and all my issues went away. Yeah. And now when he called, it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, what time? What place? Okay. She's none the wiser. She's happy. There's no drama. And that was the best advice I had ever got. And my baby daddy been fine.
Because it's the expectations we have, you know what I'm saying? It's the expectations we have. It's also family expectations too, that tell us how we supposed to be able to, you know, like, well, he should be doing this. And, you know, a lot of that stuff sometimes also go along with it. But when I'm telling you, the moment you pull back and allow spirit and that child to step up, because it's the same thing. Listen, I let it be what it's gonna be. And my daughter now, she talks to me about her relationship with her dad, and she was like, you know, sometimes I feel like I want to give up on him, but I feel like he's part of me, so I want to continue to try. I said, baby, try as long as you want to. You know what I'm saying? And if you need somebody to come and talk to about the relationship as you navigating through it, I'm gonna be here to talk to you about it. Now, I wasn't always that way. Because when her and her daddy used to get into it, I used to be that main mom, be like, fuck that nigga, you ain't gotta never deal with him again. You gotta ever deal with him again. You don't have to that used to be me. Now, when she come to me with any problem with her dad, I be like, babe, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to listen? You need me to hug? You like, what do you need from me, right? Because before I was able to pop off like that because I had expectations on the type of man that I felt like he should have been for me and for her. Because he wasn't that way, then I can talk shit about him when he falls short. You know what I'm saying? He a piece of shit. Leave him alone, right? But at the core of me, that's not really what I want her to do. At the core of me, I want her to have a great relationship with him. But because he had been such a disappointment in the past, then for me, I'm like, girl, why you keep taking yourself through that? But then when I talk to her about it, I'm like, listen, moving forward, and this was like she was going to maybe like 8th grade when she came back to me to stay with me. And I was like, moving forward, I don't want to have really no relationship communication wise with your dad. I don't really feel like I need to. I feel like whatever you need from him, you can reach out and get from him. And from that point, when I stopped caring about whether or not he's going to show up, things changed for me. They changed for me because I cut a cord. I detach myself from something, you know what I'm saying? Which is the outcome of how this relationship between them is going to look. You know what I'm saying? My job is to be the mother and to support that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of those things, though. It takes you some time to work through. You have to mentally see what that's going to be for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not a cookie cutter one situation. Because even though like some of those stuff that I share with Comfort about that, she still had to develop her own way of approaching it. We all have to find our own way of approach. Our job is to come together and discuss what it is that we have gone through and the tools and resources that we have to assist one another. But my life ain't gonna never be your life and vice versa. But we can assist each other with how these are the tools that I use, and you're supposed to take those tools and then see how those tools can be developed into what it can be for you to use. You feel what I'm saying? So we all a work in progress, okay? Ain't nobody here perfect. Ain't nobody here got it all figured out. You know what I'm saying? The only people that's got it 100% figured out is the ones who in the grave, okay? Because that's when you figure it out. That's when you like, oh, transition. Next point, okay? So that's the end of it. So other than that, it's going to be a great cycle that we are now stepping into. Is Pisces and Virgo going to be a lot? Absolutely. It's going to be a lot because Pisces, again, is where we go to end the cycle And Virgo is where we work on the cycle. Okay. So in the Virgo placements of it for the next 2 years, we're working these things out. We're working out our bodies. We're working out our food. We're working out our coworkers and our relationships. We're working out so much. Okay. So be patient with yourself, because when you don't be patient with your Virgo placements, you become anxious and you become nervous and you become a hypochondriac. And then now you got digestive issues. Okay. So everything is going to affect you here. That's how you're going to know that you're overdoing it or underdoing it, because your stomach is going to let you know. When it comes down to the Pisces energy, when you are escaping and not facing yourself and doing what you need to do, your feet is going to be the first thing to give you the indication. Okay. And I'm talking about all feet issues. When I mean all of them, having a corn or a bunion on your feet because you wore heels, that's Pisces stuff. You know that, right? I know y'all be want to blame it on your shoes, but your shoes is a part of Pisces. So anything that shows up on the feet, it could just be, oh, I got a little feet cramp. Okay. Anything dealing with the feet is going to give you indications that you are avoiding doing the work that you need to do for yourself. Okay. That you are escaping into the abyss of somebody else's problems or issues. Okay. Or the fact that you are just attached to something that you know you need to let go of. The power of letting go is understanding that when you trust yourself, when you become the oracle that you are already, not that you came here to be, when you allow yourself to be the oracle that you are, everything else comes in alignment for you. Everything becomes an alignment for you. So this is our stage. You're stepping into your oracle. You're stepping into your new state of intuition and into your trust. And as you allow this eclipse to, boom, show you stuff tonight, write things down, sit with your feelings, and then accept that this is what you're going to have to let go. And in that acceptance of knowing that you're letting it go, know that there's power behind it. Okay. Not weakness, not breaking down. Okay. You're drawing in the power by simply saying, I release, I let go, and now I'm receiving all the things that's for me. Okay. So don't worry about having to do no rituals or do none of that kind of stuff. Okay. It's not necessary. We don't necessarily do eclipse during, I'm doing rituals during eclipse anyway. Okay. The reason why we don't, because the light goes out. Okay. And the light goes out, it can discombobulate your stuff that you're doing. So just sit with yourself. Whatever comes up, write it out, study. Okay. Remember, we're studying things between 20 and 25 degrees of Pisces, correct? And we're studying things also between what? 5 degrees as well, right? 5 degrees energy of the stuff that showed up in the March cycle, and now all the stuff that's showing up now, okay? As well as the energy of the Saturn and Pisces retrograde. And I think it's at 28 degrees, correct? Go back to it. 20 degrees, 25 degrees, 5 degrees. And then, yes. So those are the vibrations that you're dealing with. So just pretty much look at the whole 20th degree of the Pisces dynamics, and then you'll be dead on, okay? And working with that. As you guys go back through the recording, if y'all got some questions, let me know. Don't forget to go back and watch that Saturn and Pisces retrograde class. I'm going to send you the link. Go back and watch that. Let me know you watch it. Let me know what you think about it. It's also going to add to this too. And then if you did a session with me in March, okay, before we have our next session, please go back and listen to your session in March, okay, so that you can be completely clear on whatever happened for your March cycle, because we're going to talk about it again for this next cycle, okay? Any questions? Going once, going twice, going 3 times, lady. Okay, great. Well, good. Thank you, peoples. I appreciate y'all being here. If questions do come up for you, you got a question come from?
No, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And if anything does come up, you know, as you start to go through your homework, please reach out. Okay. I tell y'all all the time to reach out to me, and y'all be just so scared. I mean, what are y'all scared of? Just ask, just press send. Okay. And then I'm gonna answer it. Okay. Or I'll send y'all some links to get more details. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here for this good old 2.5 hours. Y'all be in here with me, boy. I'll be loving that. I'll be like, they be in this class. Okay. I will see you guys soon for the next class that we'll be talking about. We're finna get ready to go into Libra season. So buckle up for relationships season, okay? Because it's finna be a good one. It's finna be some good juice. Should be some
Cuffing
good juice
season.
this season. All right,
Thank
my
you,
loves,
Gigi.
enjoy your night.
Good night. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mwah, 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 mwah.